As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
My word, I'm having some issues this morning. Sorry about that. Some technical issues. Am I this blurry? Hold on. Good morning. Happy Memorial Day to all. It's nice to see you here this Monday morning. I was trying to get something up, but it ended up not working out the way I wanted it to. There we go. I wish I can get this. Give me just a second. There we go. So then we got to come up here. I don't know where my darn Facebook or my live is. Anyways, good morning, all. I cannot see you at the moment. I don't know why. I will try to figure that out in just a second. But I'm trying to find my screen. There we go. I'm back. Having a hard time this morning, folks. I'm still on the MacBook Pro, still trying to convert 100% over to the MacBook Pro, and I think I finally am able to do it. There we go. Happy Memorial Day. Remember and honor those that gave the ultimate sacrifice. And, you know, a lot of these people have lost their lives, but we also want to thank the active service men and women out there still fighting for us, as well as those that are forever injured by their sacrifice and service to our country. So good morning, all. Happy Memorial Day. I have some great content we want to discuss today. It's a little different. Many of you guys that were watching the program yesterday know that I said, let's have a Slurpee challenge, right? If somebody has a child that is around Summer's age, you know, I'd like them to have a grape Slurpee and, you know, see what we find. See if we have staining around the mouth, on the fingertips. This is a viable, you know, situation that we think may have been present that day. And quite frankly, we have information that debunk the whole staining of the mouth theory. We do. We're going to go over that. Good morning, Sage, Rhonda, Cindy S, Frankie Baby, Rebecca, Swiss Miss, Who Knows, Birdie, Crime Chat. It's nice to see you here, dear. Lucky Charms, Graham James, Cindy. Rebecca, I think I got you, but if I didn't, good morning. Britt, 2014. Melody, thank you again for all that you have done. Sherry Ann, Molly, good morning. Dazed, Chas and JR, Big Dream. I finally got it. I think I say Dream Big. I do that every time, don't I? I don't know. It's like your name has dyslexia for me. I don't know, and I apologize about that. Laura Croft, Betsy Monty, Strawberry Kisses, Tammy T. I feel like I'm missing. I feel like my thing just went up. Smiley Story, nice to see you, DW. Which might be a troll, folks, because it says FGH. I don't know what that means, so be on the lookout. Patricia, good morning. Rye or Die, Nick, nice to see you all here this morning. So, again, it's Memorial Day. Many of you guys probably have plans today for a cookout or something of that nature. I will be here. I'm going through a lot of content today, and I've also got to prepare. I think my BOCC meeting tomorrow is not going on because it's right after a holiday. I don't see them getting together and putting the employees through that because I'm pretty sure all the employees are off today because it's a county building, right? Don't do that, Dream Big. Don't do that. I'll get it. I'll get it. I promise. I'll get it. Scottish Lass, Charmin, Dawkins. Nice to see you. And Amy, it's nice to see you. So, if many of you guys are like me, I've got family here. My mom is, obviously with my little sister at this moment. So there's not a whole lot going around here. My mom and my dad live close by, and both my sisters, they live elsewhere, nowhere near me. So it's just me. And my best friend called me yesterday. She wanted me to come over. Actually, she wanted me to come over for the weekend. And I just have too much stuff going on that I just couldn't. Bama 101, nice to see you. Nice to see you all. It's nice to see you guys. It really is. It really is. So happy Memorial Day weekend. We're going to get into, I'm not sure how long this live is going to last. We're just going to kind of jump right in with both feet and, get started. And if you guys have questions, ask. I don't have the answers, but we do have some information. Where's my phone? There it is. So many of you guys are wondering what in the world is going on. So I'm going to back out here. I'm going to let you look at this photo, and then we're going to get started. So many of us saw Summer Wells. We've analyzed the Summer Wells photo. What? I doubt that's her, but either way, you are not welcome in my house. Not welcome at all. So at any rate, we have, yesterday when we were having a conversation, we were on a live for like 3 hours, and kind of at the end of the live, we were like, maybe we should do this Slurpee challenge, somebody with the, yeah, it's okay. No, she's just, everything she's done to me, she's not welcome over here at all. And she's complaining that, and I don't even think it's the real her, but she's complaining that, one, she's not who she says she is. No, that's not true. She has every opportunity. Not only that, but Desmond brought who? Burnt Toast, one of his producers that's producing his show with his daughter. Okay. And, she's trying to convince people it's not her, which anybody that's anonymous would try to convince somebody that it's not her. It's her. And everything that she's put me and my family through, screw her. I'm sorry, screw her. I have no pity for her. I have no pity what they're going through. I didn't do it. They did it to themselves. It's not Bullhorn Betty. It's everybody else they've pissed off because I stay in my lane. Do I believe it's her? Yes, I do. I know. And sorry, Burnt. Stay out of my chat. It's plain and simple. I don't want you here. You are not welcome. I don't think I have ever said outside of that profile pic and her that they are not welcome here. Most everybody is welcome, and it's okay. You could have said hi. It's fine, Days. Nobody. I mean, you can watch whatever you want, but this is my house. So, when I'm here, I don't want anybody up here. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Bye, bullies. That's what she is. She's a bully, and for her to go out and say it's because of the strikes coming off her channel, give me a break. The strikes have nothing to do with exposing her. Nothing. It's her clubbing me over my head for the last 6 months. She doesn't know anything about me. She lies to her audience ridiculously and peddles it as truth, but she does not want to acknowledge her own errors. You're going to sit there and talk crap about me, at least make it factual. Tell the audience the whole truth and nothing but the truth, but you can't do that. because you don't like white people. At the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. Yes, I've went through plenty of videos, Burnt. And don't worry, they will be shared. I got clips and everything. I'm going to turn into a clip channel. Just joking. I'm leaving that garbage off of this channel. And not only that, I just hand it off to other people, right? That's what she does. Yeah, she is. She does not. You should have heard this skit that they had him on the Hannibal and Monty show. White people, white people, white people, right? Why can't we just be people? Right. Anyways, getting back to it. So at the end of the day, we were talking about celebrity. We were thinking, just like, I mean, I've said it many times, I would expect to have staining on the lips. You know, it's a 5-year-old kid. I'd expect to have some purple slushy on stained the fingertips, the skin, right? Well, believe it or not, the findings didn't show that. This child drank a whole purple Slurpee and had no staining on her lips or her fingertips. None. Had none. Same age, same size, around the same age, around the same size, I think. I think that should be more accurate, more in line. So around the same size. So actually, and this person went a step further and tried to position her in the same position as that infamous photo that we had that of Summer. Yeah, I have a funny feeling it wasn't her, but if it was her, just she's not welcome in my house. I think it's probably a troll that's just trolling this channel with her photo on it, like they do me. Like apparently I go to all these chats and chat it up with people, and I'm here researching. I didn't know I was so social. I think the one time is apparently I was in like 3 chats at the same time. Seriously, no. But I was in Shay's safe place this morning. People were like, "Oh, that's not the real Bullhorn Betty." Like, yeah, it is. It was nice. And she was on. I've never been in her chat before. Thought I'd swing by. Liked it. Right. I actually watched. No thanks. I thought he was a big bully, a Bullhorn Betty. Maybe he is. I don't know. But there was a major turnoff when I first came out on YouTube. But with a lot of people, they didn't like me for some unknown reason, probably because I'm outspoken. They didn't know how to take me, so it's easier to wait it out. But a lot of people have watched me and realized that I'm not this horrible person that a few creators try to, gain support off of me, right? They talk about exploiting people, but it's okay to exploit Bullhorn Betty and be unfactual about it. We got a video out right now because remember I talked to you guys about drywall? It couldn't be that I just worked in drywall for the last 10 years prior to me fully converting over to, the political realm and social media. It couldn't be that. It had to be because I'm Battery Betty, right? Just clickbait. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It couldn't be because I'm good at a job that they're not good at. It couldn't be because I actually can go out and work on a car. I can put in a ceiling fan. I'm not, dependent upon any person in my life. It couldn't be that. It has to be because I'm this battery person. I've never been charged or convicted. Never been convicted in the court of law ever for battery. Ever. Ever. Show your receipts, Burnt. Not falsified affidavits, but show the convictions, please. I'd love for you to do that because, I'm sorry, but you're showing felonies and everything else like that. And let's talk about it, right? I vote. I possess a concealed weapons permit, right? I drive. I own my own home. I'm a taxpayer. What the hell am I doing so wrong that makes people just come unglued when I speak? They don't like how I talk? Then stay off my channel. You don't like how I act? Then stay away from me. I mean, normal people would do that, right? Normal people would do that. But I'm late to the game, because they've been crawling in my orifices for 6 months, right? And they're mad that this face was shown by whoever posted that video, right? And then I go on Monty's show, and guess what? He has a video available for all the viewers to see of his daughter. So if you didn't want your daughter in social media, why is she your producer of your show? And why are you posting photos of her and videos of her on your show, right? So the idea that she has not been in the public is a lie. Again, more lies. Does it surprise you? So, anyways, getting back to the effect, no Slurpee stains anywhere. But I just want to read these text messages. I'm not going to identify the person, and I hope the person understands why. I don't want you having issues from these crazy people that are on YouTube, because they are crazy. They have lost every bit of common sense. They are so deranged and so angry with me. And you know what I find funny? They say I'm raging, but I'm not the one pelting videos out like a raged lunatic. They are. So, tomato, tomato. Let's see here. What's in my messages? Here we go. Oh, we got a couple more. Sorry, I didn't see the other ones. So I'm sorry about that. So so I got photos of this challenge. Somebody actually got their relative a Slurpee, as well as tried to position them in this position, that we saw this Summer Wells photo. She was obviously there for quite some time in that position. I mean, we watched the video. They're like, oh, well, her hands were up and now they're down. Okay. So she said, and I said, she said she just finished her slushie. I said, interesting. So it looks about the same. So no staining. Not really, because it's hard not really, because it was hard placing her. No stains. I said, interesting. She moves a lot. Her hands were moved a lot. They wouldn't stay that way. So this person, good morning, Snow, nice to see you. So this particular person actually tried to position their young relative in the position of Summer. And they couldn't keep the arms right because of the way the body is contorted and concoct. They couldn't, the hand wouldn't stay in that solid position. It wouldn't stay there. She moved a lot. It wouldn't stay that way. I said, gotcha. If you see, she's always wanting to drop it to the side. So the hand is wanting to naturally drop to the side. Drop to the side. She wasn't comfortable. I tried. I said, well, it is findings. So we know that she might not have the staining with the arm. When you had it in the same place as Summer, was it when it became uncomfortable for her? She said, yes, it was very uncomfortable for her, and she kept moving and squirming. Gotcha. So it wasn't a natural position for her. That's interesting as well. Honestly, I never thought about how uncomfortable that position would be. So a new perspective as well. No, it was. And she said it hurt her neck and her arm didn't feel good on her lap, is what she said. I said, thank you for doing this. Tell her thank you as well. She kept asking me, how long do I sit like this for? And I was just trying to get a couple of pictures. So how can Summer stay like that and be still. Her and my blank are the same age. I did thank her and bought her a Kinder egg for her help. That was really sweet. And I said, yeah, like I said, I never thought of the level of uncomfortable it would be, or level of how uncomfortable it would be. I misspoke. With a 5-year-old, it would be, and she didn't like her arms like that. She just wanted to move them. But I'm glad we can help. I said, thank you. She is so cute. So, and granted, this is just one person. Let's go back. If I can pull that photo up somehow. I'm not on my other computer and I got it on that computer. So I'm just going to back out here and let you guys see that photo again now that I explained. Pretty interesting, right? Let me go back up here. I know the chat's been going a little. I see the chat moving. Let me see if there's any thing I can help with. Amy, I'm not sure. I haven't checked my emails today. Amy M, I haven't checked my emails. I will check them as soon as I'm off here. We'll go through those. Yeah. Well, I just went in there and I just happened to watch, I actually was falling asleep while I was listening to him, but I think what made me resonate with no thanks is because it was crazy. Apparently he had an interview with Cam with Kraken Cases and Benny with Blood Money, Benny Keys, or Hitman Benny Keys, whatever he goes by nowadays, and had him on his panel. It looked like it was a something that had happened earlier. I think, if I recall correctly, do not hold my feet to the fire. I believe it was an interview that he had them both on about 2 months ago, possibly. I'm not sure. Okay, so again, don't hold my feet to the fire on that. And he was asking them questions, and there was one thing where Benny and Cam said, "Well, I didn't look back that far," and they were talking about the day Summer went missing, and I just thought, here's that he's asking some questions and these guys don't have the information. Like they've been up at that property, they've been arm candy to the wells, and they didn't have some of the basic information about this case on no thanks, according to with this interview, and they clearly stated. And so it just perked my attention, like, I don't know if this guy likes me or doesn't like me. I really don't care. But the video that he put out yesterday, and maybe you guys need to go watch it and see what I'm talking about, to me was a good video. It was, pretty spot on. And I think it hits a lot of the elements that I said about keeping that arm length away from potential suspects and persons of interest in a case, because it blurs your perspective. And I don't want to have my perspective blurred. And that's why I do things the way I do things. I never get too close to family members. Now, for example, did we get close to people in Crystal and Kylen Schulte's family? Yes, we did. But they had nothing to do with it. They were halfway across the country. Crystal's cousin, Diane, was in Arkansas when Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner met their demise, in Arkansas, right? So for things like that, that to me is a little different. She begged, I shouldn't say begged, she wanted help, and we were able to provide her some kind of help. And we were able to provide her some kind of information. And at the end of the day, if we can help a family, that's what it's all about. That's what we did. And that's what we will continue to do, despite how I don't need people's approval to do it. It's nice. It's really nice, that there are people that support the work that we do. That is very nice. But at the end of the day, I'm not here for approval. I'm here to look in these things. I put it out to the world. I put my findings out to the world. They like it or they don't like it. It's pretty simple. We discuss them. People have differing viewpoints, and that's it. That's how it rolls. That's how it works, right? So at the end of the day, we are. I just felt that his points are a lot of points that I myself have made, and a lot of his observations are also some of the same observations that I've made. So I kind of understood it. Do I agree with 100% of everything that he said on his panel? Of course not. Just like I doubt he agrees with 100% of the stuff I say on my panel, and that's fine. And that's fine. But I did enjoy listening to his live last night as much as I could take. Like I said, I was falling asleep. I had it rolling on the end table as I'm falling asleep. But when I watched it, it was really good, in my opinion. But there were some things, like even some of the stuff he said, I'm like, nah, I don't believe that. But again, might be something. Good morning. Sending you good karma. That's nice. I love it. I love it. Thank you. It's something. I don't know. I've never seen so many and these people are grown ass adults, excuse my language, but they're grown adults acting like they're in middle school. It's and they're raising kids. It's just amazing to me. Amazing. And we wonder what's wrong with our children these days. I just don't. It's not even worried about it. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Democrat, good point. And not only that, but this idea that people can't. I went through a rough life, and some of it dealt with the childhood trauma, and I didn't know how to deal with it in adulthood, and I went down bad paths, you know, and almost lost my life multiple times. And at the end of the day, they don't know that. They don't care about that. All they care about, I guarantee if Burnt pushed me over to the edge, she wouldn't care. She would celebrate. She's sick in the head, absolutely sick in the head. But, whatever. We just move on. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hate to bust their bubble. I'm just not that interesting. I mean, eventually they're eventually their audience has got to be getting bored. I mean, she went from, putting out videos about me having 15 and 18 and 20,000 views to under 10,000 views on these videos. Like, her audience is getting tired of it. Her own audience is. But she just has a bone to pick. She has a bone to pick. She just wants to push this to a lawsuit. She's going to get it. She wants it. She's getting it. Believe me, she's getting it. And then she's going to cry, just like her friend. Then she's going to lie. She wants it. Fine. She wants her day in court. Never been to court before. Let's go ahead. Better call that ACLU. Hopefully they do petty lawsuits like, you stealing people's content. I don't think they do, federal stuff, but hey, I will copyright those videos. Cost me $62.50 to copyright them. And once I do, baby, you're done. You are done. DONE. I know. I don't ever pretend to be perfect. Yeah. Well, no, her subs actually went up because she had to beg Benny for help. Like she stayed at under 8,000, 9,000 for years. And when I started hitting her with the strike, she had to beg and plead with people to feel sorry for her so she could get above 10,000 so she could try to be some, like, it took her, she's been on the online trying to be anonymous since 2019. She hasn't even made 1 million views yet in all those years she hasn't even made 1 million views. We hit that before 6 months. That should tell her anything, but it won't. But she hates white people. She hates blonde hair, blue eyes. Hates them. Unless they believe the way she believes, then she loves them. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, I offer anybody to do that because one person alone is not enough to have conclusive findings, right? So this is just one child that is uncomfortable in that position. If we can get, 5, 6, 7 children in and around the age group to try to sit still and in that position, maybe the findings will be different. Maybe we find out that, it is a comfortable position for the majority. Or maybe we find out all 7 kids can't lay in that position. That'd be pretty damning too. So, the challenge has just started, folks. One person stepped up to the plate with their findings. How many others of you guys out? We have 230, which reminds me, 230 guys, go out there and like this page. Give me a thumbs up, either over there or down there. Click out of the chat if you're on your cell phone and give me the thumbs up. We are trying to debunk theories, and we're doing it legitimately. So here's the theory of, and again, this kind of came out of nowhere. My perspective has never been on the uncomfortable position she was laying in. That I didn't even think about until it was brought to my attention yesterday by this person that chose to take the challenge and not even, I was just talking about the Slurpee. Like, they went a step further and said, let me position my family member, my relative, in this position. And I think she was probably as shocked as I was that the position itself wasn't a natural position and was not comfortable for the child. Very interesting. Very interesting findings, if you ask me. I'm curious. There was a few other people that said they would do this. Do it. If you're around your family member, do it. Let's see how many people are uncomfortable in that position. Because we know she laid there like that for a little minute. And if it's uncomfortable, you think she would have moved. Yeah, that's what we're finding. It sure is. It sure is. So Big Dream, this is related to Monkey, which is Michael Vaughn's case. She said someone yesterday, the DD used to date Monkey's grandmother. Does anyone know if that's true? I don't quite understand that question, but if anybody has the answer for her, you might want to help her out with that. Yeah. Well, they didn't know anything. And I'm thinking, if I was on that property, I would have been, kind of Chris McDonough, he eyeballed literally everything, right? He literally eyeballed everything. And it's crazy because they were up there hanging out with these parents. And what was it for? I mean, if I am going to go sit with somebody on a case of a missing child, I wouldn't come back with, oh, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. I would have been very strategic. If I had an opportunity to be up on that property and be inside that home, I would be very strategic in my mannerism and what I'm trying to look for. I would never have went up there without having a written plan, writing out, because you can't take the paper with you, right? You got to remember this stuff. But I would not have gone up there without writing out a strategic plan on what I want to do and memorizing it, and having very calculated maneuvers to get some of the information that I would want, whether it's finding a way to ask a question or finding a way to take a walk around the property and preview what is in and around there, and start so I can compare that to other videos that were there earlier when Summer was missing. I would have been very strategic if I had the opportunities that both of those guys had. And I just don't see where they were very strategic, and I don't see what they accomplished. I guess is the bigger conversation, is what did Cam and Allie and Benny Keys actually accomplish outside of clickbait and, gaining money off the interviews. I don't see what was what they brought to what was revealed. What was the whole purpose of it outside of being, what was it? What, I can't remember what Benny said. He was like, Hollywood something or other. I can't remember what he said. You guys got to go back and watch it. I was like, seriously, you think they're like superstars? The Wells are superstars, and I'm telling you, it was. You guys got to watch it. Whether you have your opinions of no thanks or not, I just think yesterday's skit everybody should watch. Again, I don't agree 100% with every single thing he said, but I do agree with some of the things he says. And it was still very interesting him replaying that video that they had done. I believe it was a couple months ago. I could be wrong. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Whatever anybody can do to help. I mean, we've got one, and I'd like to get, and I like I said, I promised I'd blur the face out and make sure that the person, the child was, um, you know, not in the public eye. So I believe I did that. I mean, you can tell it's a little girl, but other than that, I blurred out everything but the lips and the chin and everything down past that. So, and whoever brought this, I hope that was satisfactory for you as well. Yeah, exactly. I am T Summer. It's nice to see you. Nice to see all my coffee clubbers. I agree. Yeah. I mean, she's been exposed. She can try to backtrack and everything else like that, but I'm sorry, there's only two women in Monty's life that he gives a damn about, and explain to me why there's two women as his producers of his show, and one's burnt toast and one's his daughter Zoe. That, and that is not all we have either. That's not the ending of this. Um, but yeah, and she's going to go out there and lie, and they're going to say, oh, it's not her, and they've already got their trolls saying it's not her. Well, you know what? Monty had burnt toast on there. If his wife's face is being plastered all over YouTube, you would think that she would come out and say, guys, my name's Ann, and no, I'm not burnt toast, instead of having burnt toast on your show again, right? But that never happened. And I challenge burnt toast to bring Ann on and prove it, because she can't, because she's Ann. So you're never going to see Ann, even though Ann's face is plastered on many pages across YouTube right now. You'll never see Ann coming out. And it makes you wonder why. Why would Ann not want to come out and clear her name? So, I mean, they're saying people are. I saw a post that somebody's calling somebody. It's not me, but I will get blamed for it. Believe you that I will be blamed for it, right? Even though I'm not the one that even created the video, but I will be blamed for it. So, whatever. Bottom line is she's been exposed, and I'm glad she is. So for anybody that has been attacked by her, bullied by her, cyber bullied by her, cyber harassed by her, I hope you guys take the necessary legal action you need to take to put an end to it. Muggsy, what are you talking about, dear? On what video? I actually like the ACLU, Amy. They're helping me right now on an issue. I love the ACLU. They're good at times. I don't necessarily like all the things they get involved in, but in all fairness, when you need some help, you get some help, right? I don't think they're going to work for somebody like Burnt Toast to help her because mine's more of a Florida issue, right? Exactly. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe should Bullhorn Betty channel become more drama? I mean, I dominate the YouTube streets on other people's channel while they bash me. I shouldn't say that. There's only a couple small, actually small. I mean, you're talking about small channel, like they are just venom channels. And even the people that hate me won't even go and sub them. Like they are just it's sad. It's sad. It's like, what are you guys going to do when people just are sick and tired of watching it? What are you guys going to do? How are you going to grow your channels? They don't even have a plan. They don't even have a plan. Reason I asked that question is because I found it kind of odd that he showed up at Summer's church. Hold on, Big Dream. Let me see where your other Agent 99. Thank you. Good morning. Trying to see your first post. Trying to see your first post. I'm sorry. Bama Cat, it's bullhornbetty at gmail.com. Bullhornbetty at gmail.com. There was something that was in here. Sorry for putting the whole name. I don't normally do that. Oh, the question is, did David Dotson that showed up at Summer's church for a little bit use to date Monkey's grandma? That would be interesting, but I can't imagine unless Monkey's grandma lived in and around there because David Dotson has been in that area for some time. We actually spoke with his daughter at her house in the front yard. And I can't remember her name. Somebody had ended up posting that video. I wasn't recording it, but somebody ended up posting the video that was out there with us, and she got really mad and yelled at me for it. And it's like, I got nothing to do with it. And long story short, I think he was there, and then everything kind of broke off. He met another woman. I don't, and people were saying because he had a crematory or something or worked for one or something like that. And I'm just thinking, after speaking with his daughter, there is no way this man would have helped that family. And furthermore, he actually started distancing himself from that family very early on when he realized that there was more than meets the eye. And that's the way it was kind of explained to me. I'll dig up the interview with the daughter and see if I can make heads or tails of it. But I don't think I'll have to find out. You know, I've got three sets of files here, so I'll go through it and see if there's something in there related to David Dotson's daughter. But she explained it very well, and you got to remember, this man had his own children, and I just don't, people that take care of their children and love their children are not going to help somebody with that aspect for somebody else's children. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to get involved. I mean, I just keep thinking here, like, even if my best friend came over here, somebody I've known for over 20 years, we're thick as thieves. We went through everything together, literally everything, the highs together, the lows together, everything in between. We got better together. Just, and she came to ask me, the one person that she can trust, to have her back, to help her with something like this. I wouldn't. And I don't believe she would either. You see? And we are like, I would give my life for this woman. Literally, if a bus was coming, careening at her, I would push her out of the way and take the hit. I would lose my life for my best friend. But this would be the one thing that I would never, ever do. And normal people, in my opinion, I mean, think about you and your best friend. These people weren't even best friends. They saw each other at church. They may have hung out with each other at potlucks. The Christian way would be to go and support a family that has a missing child. And then when you kind of are around them and you realize that they're acting odd or strange and things aren't adding up and things don't feel right, you might decide to exit stage right. And I just don't see somebody helping them like this with this, especially somebody that they didn't know all that well. And David Dotson, it sounds like they knew, but they weren't chummy and buddies and hung out all the time. It's somebody that they may have seen at work or church rather, and knew of. I mean, he was a very tall person. If he went to the church, I'm sure people would recognize him immediately due to just to his height. I could be wrong. I mean, this is just conversation. Oh, it's okay. No, no, no. His name's been out there for quite some while, for quite some time. Um, yeah, I think that's the best way to. It was a rumor. Yeah, yeah. And so it comes down to, this no things. I'm not going to play his. I may snag a skit here and there, after a few days, maybe a couple weeks, and we'll play it here. May clip something. But and guys, I just want to let you know I did get an opportunity to speak with Cher, and she's let me and I do have some things I want to clip, but I don't want to clip without her because she is the I think the important piece because she had an opportunity to speak, and I'm not going to play the whole interview, but there are some clips, and I just want her thoughts about it. I mean, now that we're fast forward, a year later, and I think she did this interview, I want to say 8 months ago or something. But now that we fast forward to this time, I'm interested in what her opinion of some of his responses were because now that I'm looking at all this stuff and I got to tell you, Cher's interview I did not see. I did not see it had been out for months. I did not see it until and my mouth kind of fell open in some of the things that Don said because I feel like he's contradicted himself later or maybe even earlier. And so I think this will be good. So I'm going to continue to have conversations with Cher about this. I told her I'd reach out with her after this live. I got to figure out what are my main questions, and just send her the list of questions and see if she'd, I know she's not feeling good right now, but hopefully schedule something in here in the next week or two where we can have a discussion here or there, but it is interesting for me. I haven't really studied this case. I looked into it a couple times, but I never really got into who is doing what. But maybe it'll be a good break from the Summer Wells case. I just want to keep the Summer Wells case up, because we are going to have that prayer vigil. And I just don't want people to forget that we are doing an event for Summer and law enforcement to honor them both. This has been, it's coming up on a year, so we do need to segue and have some closure for baby Summer at some point. Um, you know, it's just a sad case. I think the Summer Wells case is just sad. And it's like, I think some of us see things so clear. It's like, why are we dragging this out? But, in all fairness, the West boys, and here's the kicker, the West boys, many people had all the information wrong on the West boys, and it was almost jaw dropping when we found out the boys hadn't been around for months before they were called in. And we're still here, and I'm curious if they had like a page. If maybe somebody can look into that. Did they have a page kind of like the TVI newsroom? I wonder what information was being stated at the beginning. But it seemed like there was a lot of people that went out and knew that the parents were involved somehow and actually brought that. And of course, there was other people that didn't, and attacked those people that thought something had happened. The parents were involved. It was similar to the Summer Wells case. Creators literally unleashed mobs on people, their audience on people, to harass them and cyberstalk them and cyberbully them because of their opinion of the case that the parents were involved. And guess what? At the end of the day, the parents were involved. And not only were they involved, these children met their demise months prior to the parents reporting the boys missing. And if that wasn't bad enough, it appears that they had their other children help them cover it up. And I've just got to say, again, I want to give a big shout out to AV Watchman. He did a very good job covering that case. I don't watch him that much, but I did go back and watch a few videos of his. And so a big shout out to AV Watchman for his coverage of the Cal City boys. He never gave up hope. And he was out there when they finally got arrested, which was amazing for him. I'm sure it felt like vindication for him, just like when the Wells are arrested in this case. It'll feel like vindication for me and many other creators that have been attacked covering this case. Hollywood-fied. Thank you. That's what Benny Keys said about the Wells. That he was in a state of, he didn't know if he was Hollywood-fied by their presence. Seriously? Parents that are potentially responsible for the disappearance of their child. But we have to believe that their judgment wasn't clouded at all. And I'm the bad guy because I chose not to get close and chose to be outspoken and chose to bring the information to the people, not this manipulated, right? I find it funny because I cover this case, but I'm according to some of the haters, I'm picking the bones of this poor child, which is untrue because I've covered more cases than just hers. But I'm not the only one. Like, there's creators with hundreds of thousands of followers that believe the exact same thing I believe, that talk on their shows the same way I talk, that show the same thing I have been showing. But it's okay for them, just not for me. I find that bizarre behavior, and it makes me wonder why. Makes me wonder why. Sorry. Reading a text message. Yeah. You're sweet. We love Pink Phoenix. She's across the pond. I don't know how he could do that, but I never saw. This is the second time, like I heard it yesterday that somebody brought this up, and I heard it again by you. What was said? I'm curious to hear what was said. Actually, give me just a second. I'm going to throw a phone number down. Count. I think it's this one. Let's see. I'm going to try this because I know some people don't like coming up because they're shy on the computer. Not the right one. Let's try this one. And I don't use this one very often, but I'm going to try to hook up my Gmail. And I wonder if I can pull these up and then go back. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. So here's the phone number. Let's see if we can do this right. I don't know if I can. We'll see. And I'll throw the StreamYard up so you guys can have your option as to whether you guys want to call in or you guys want to come up. All right. Let's see if anybody calls in. So, and it just, the reason why I like the call in is one, people like it a little bit better, but two, you don't have to worry about, people going a little nutso. That's easily taken away. Everybody, thumbs up, yes. And that's a good thing, I didn't know who he was. He made his presence known to me, just like many of these people. Like, I don't know who they are. I've never done anything to them, but they made their presence known to me. And she is. She is. She does it to me. She does it to me. And not only that, but I've got videos after videos, clips and everything that are a hell of a lot more damning than what she thinks she had on me. She didn't mind going out there and painting me as this horrible, despicable person. But you're kind of like one of those people that think it's okay for somebody else to do it if you like them. But when the person does the same exact thing back to them, you guys want to attack that person. I am not doing anything to this woman she has not done to me. And if it's okay for her to do that to me, why are you in my chat trying to defend her? Yeah, it's always been odd about I think we all question that video, but you know what? Was that video taken that day? I mean, I know we've went around these questions many times, but was it posted? Was it just posted that day, or was it actually filmed that day? Law enforcement hasn't come out and said anything about it. Is the 14th just as important as the 15th? We've been, everything's showing that she was there, but a person brought to my attention, Summer never went into any of the stores. She stayed out in the truck with Hunter, supposedly on the 15th. So who can corroborate that she was with them if they don't have her on video? Maybe they have her on the video at Walgreens, in the drive-through. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's possible. It's possible. Hi, Sonia. Nice to see you. Yeah, that's kind of the opinion that I have as well. But I missed out. I do some stuff and it just drops it all the way down and I lose my place in the chat. So I apologize about that. I got to go back up. Apparently I'm behind. Some people don't like this David Dotson. I don't know much about him. Um, mm, email me who, please. I'd like to know because everybody that I went to Florida and Tennessee with, I still work with or communicate with at the minimum. Gotcha. Mary J, good morning. I don't know if there's bad comments or whatever, but just to let you guys know that I'm not in here. My mods do a great job for me, so we want to keep all comments respectful. Oh, you crack me up, girl. It's happened since the day I came on here, and it's clearly not going to stop until it's put a stop to. I mean, it's just, again, I've asked nicely. I don't do anything to these people. I don't talk about these people, and they literally hate me so much. It's twisted. And people, they don't get it. They don't get it. These people have mental problems, and they think it's funny, and they glorify it, and they enable it. Yeah, until it happens to them, and then they're screaming bloody murder and acting like a freaking victim. I do have more love than hate. Thank you, Patricia. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Dotson would be dating her grandma. I don't know. I don't know. That would be awfully weird. But I have to think, as crazy as that sounds, that it can't be true. Snow. I mean, it can't be true. Like that would be too coincidental, and I don't know. Because I heard he married a lady, and I actually had a picture of the lady that he married. I don't know where it's at, but I remember seeing it, and I thought, okay, they look like an odd couple. I mean, don't get me wrong. And he's so tall, and she's much shorter, and things like that. But oh, his wife left him. His new wife, Mean Jean. I don't know. It's interesting. Never heard that question before. I never heard anybody say that. Give me just a second. Yes, ma'am. I'm hearing the phones are not working. So unfortunately, I don't know how to make them work. I do see that I have 2 missed calls here. So let me just come over here. So the people that would like to come up here, while you are behind the screen, you must show your face. If you don't want your face shown on YouTube, after that, I'll tell you I'm bringing you up on panel, and you just stop the camera, and it'll just show your circle for those that want to come up. Well, thank you, Shannon. I am an acquired taste at times, but for those that would like to come up here, tell me what your thoughts are, especially about this, Summer Wells effect, or, the Slurpee challenge. If you have children that are in and around the same age, again, another perspective is I never once considered how uncomfortable the position she was in when that photo was taken would have been. So I'm curious if others have children around the same age, if they're willing to participate, maybe check out that avenue. Was that an uncomfortable position? If it's an uncomfortable position, how many other children in and around her same age group, size, and weight feel the same way? That would be great. I mean, we've got 270 people in here. If we only had a, a small percentage of the people that are in here, under 10%, that does this challenge and reports back their findings, we might have a better idea of that photo, and how, and maybe it might shed some light, if nothing more, on that. Please don't forget to go out and hit that like button. Yeah, Shay was on today. I was watching her. First time I've ever been in her chat. I only got the tail end of it. When I'm every morning before I go live, I go through my lives to see who all is live at the time. I do that out of respect for, other creators. If another creator is going live at the same time I'm going live, I'll try to, especially if it's a creator I like, I'll try to wait and hold off until that creator is wrapped up before I go live. What do you call someone who can't eat? Oh, that should really burn her ass. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then Michelle Walks, I think, is the one. I know Michelle After Dark has two separate accounts. One's After Dark, one's Walks, and she posts things on both channels. And so it made me what. And she had one of Jody Sue just going nutso, like breaking down. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure why this didn't ring on here. I'll have to get with a friend and find out how they get this, because I know a couple people do the phones. I prefer the phones than bringing people up here in the on the panel. In some cases I like, having people up here on panel, but I find that, when people are on the phone, they may call in and be more vocal than, having their face or their name posted up on the chat. So if we could do something like that. And a couple people did call in, so I do apologize. It's just clearly not going to work, or I can try to call back and see who they are, but I don't want to do that either. So I do apologize if the number did not work. We'll have to figure out how to get it to ring on here. I just don't know. Let me see if I can do settings. I don't know why it won't work. Okay. I did something wrong. It looks like it was a setting. So if you guys would like to try to call back, you guys can. We'll see if it works better for you. Let's just try it. I'm kind of trying this stuff for my first time as well. So, you know, gosh, I hate when I do that. Let's pull it off. There we go. So here it is. There we go. For those that like to call in, we can try it again, see if it works. If it doesn't work, then there we go. Now I just. Hello?
Hi, Betty. Hi, how are you doing? I think I'm going to be your first caller.
Oh, great.
I'm calling from New Jersey. Just, this whole case is getting even crazier, in my opinion. I think it's very hard to determine really with all these people. It's more characters, more theories. It just keeps getting bigger, it's like a bigger spider web each day as this supposed investigation goes on. And, I don't even know what to say. I don't know who to believe. I don't like Jody Sue. I just don't know who to believe. Everyone's bashing each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just unbelievable that this thing is keep going on, and this Lawson needs to be fired.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But they had an opportunity to fire Lawson, and they voted him back in.
Well, can I just tell you my thinking, and I've said this before on other people's channels. I think Tennessee has 95 counties with 95 separate governments,
mm-hmm.
and everything needs to be run the same way in every part of the state. And I think that that the state needs to look at what's going on. Where's the attorney general? Where's the governor?
Mm-hmm.
And also that if they don't have the money, they need to ask for extra funding to help with this situation, especially if they're not keeping their people safe. If they're not, who knows if something else would happen there, and if something would be taken care of, and it makes it unsafe for their citizens that live there. And I grew up in Connecticut, where in 1960 they abolished their county system of government. They just wanted it one streamlined for the whole state, because they didn't want all these separate little governments and all these little things. They have the geographical drawings for the counties. You
Mm-hmm.
could say you're in this county, that county, but you're not going to say I have to go to the county seat or I have a county tax. They're not doing that. So
mm-hmm.
I think something is awry when you have these different little counties that they're not being watched and monitored, especially in a place like this. And there's no checks and balances. And it's just so unprofessional when you call that sheriff and he says, "What are you going to arrest Candace on?" I'm like, "What, are you kidding me?" I would have, if I would have been there with you, I would have like, let's rattle off all the different cases in other states that these kids, parents were arrested for on much less charged things that I don't know how to word it because my brain isn't together yet. But I just don't understand what's going on. It's just unbelievable. And I don't know what you think about what I said, but I just think it's just that they're too small of a county, that they're not being, they need help. They
Mm-hmm.
don't have enough personnel, and they should turn it over to the state. In my opinion, the attorney general needs to come in and look at what's going on with these people. It's so convoluted. More people are getting involved in it, and it doesn't make sense. It makes it even more complicated and more difficult to figure out really what the truth is and really what happened to this child. And I've said before, I think that she's in a tote.
Yeah.
I think they wrapped her up. They think they really, made it so they couldn't sniff or find her,
Yeah. To me, it's definitely an odd case, but I think what is going on here is that there has been such a microscope put on such a small town that's been able to do what they've wanted to do without being held accountable for so long. I mean, quite frankly, it was alarming. I believe there were some people putting out some information about, other mayors, other things. There's a lot of stuff that just is not very savory in this one area that, people have dug into because they're naturally curious about this case. And it's kind of painting this negative light on Hawkins County. And some of that stuff's being pointed at law enforcement as well.
That's true.
So
And can I just wrap it up with this? The person that's been bothering you, the BT woman, I did look up and find out she is actually licensed. I emailed that information to you, and it is public knowledge. Anybody can go on and look up any healthcare professional on any state website to look up their license status, whether they're expired, whether there are disciplinary actions against them on their license. But I did look her up, and as a healthcare professional myself, I have to say, for someone to have those say those things about a certain color of people is very upsetting, because how do you take care of people when you have those viewpoints against them? Because what are you going to do? Favor another patient over because they're a different color? That's not right. You have to. That's doing harm to a people. And her Facebook page is very vile. So everybody has their political beliefs, but I really find it just very she's very authoritarian.
Yeah.
Just and I wouldn't want people taking care of me because I'm a certain color that feel that or said those things about my race of people. So,
right.
That's just my opinion. So you have another person that joined up, and I'll let them go.
Yeah, but always remember, when you have one pointing back or pointing at someone, you have three pointing back at yourself. So,
right. All the best. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Wish I can go to the vigil. All right.
Well, we appreciate all the love and support, and hopefully it will come up.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to hold off on the calls just for a second. Nice to see you, Suze. How are you doing today? Tell me what your thoughts are.
I wanted to introduce myself. I'm the one that made the Facebook vigil group.
Oh,
And
thank you. I didn't know who you were. That was really nice of you. I appreciate all the hard work you ladies have been doing.
Yeah, Guidance and Jenny have been doing a lot lately. I've been kind of strapped up with my daughter graduated high school and all these things.
We appreciate all the love and support. People coming together for the name of and the sake of Summer Wells has just been amazing. So I want to tell you personally, thank you so much. I didn't know who you guys were, but it's sweet. Thank you so much.
Guidance was supposed to come up too. I'm not sure if she's coming, but we're gonna be there. I was gonna say, hey, if your daughter wants a ride, I'm coming all the way from Louisiana.
Very good.
She's still up in Lafayette, right? Your daughter?
Oh, you're talking about my sister.
Your sister, yeah, that's right.
My sister's in Louisiana, but because of them, doxing her and things of that nature, my mom is with her right now. So because of the situation going on here, so they're
messed with her too.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, that's miserable. That's misery right there. Is there a way like you can just ignore her and just?
No, there's no way. There's no. I tried. It's not clearly not working. So there's going to have to be some other steps that are going to be involved in this whole process. And I don't really want to go into it right now, but
it's fine.
Tell you that it is being worked on.
Do you have a good idea of people that are going like a head count ish? Like that's kind of what I was trying to do with the event.
The creators have been giving some asking for head counts. Now I don't know how many of those cross over, because we all talk
share
about
subs.
This. But crimes, critter, or I can't ever remember.
Yeah. The farm lady.
Critters on the farm, whatever. Miss Daisy, she did a head count. She had a lot of people in her chat that said they were going to be going. I want to say it was about 15 or 20. I know Dolly did. He was able to get, I think a couple of people in his chat. I think it was like 6 or 7 that stated that they would go. I did one here. We had about 10 here in this chat yesterday that said that they were going to go. So we do have, I believe it's going to, and I don't, in the other people in the area that may be coming out, I think it's going to be between 30 and 50 people. It may be bigger, it may be smaller, but I think that's about, from what I'm kind of I'm seeing that's about where we're going to be
Yeah,
at.
I was thinking it would be like over 100, but then they started the
And
other
it very
vigils.
well may be, because I don't know, like even House of Williams, I didn't know she was going to be coming. So she may have some
Nice.
people in her audience that will be
Hmm.
coming as well. So, the number is really unknown. Only the people that are letting us know that they're coming are the ones that we're counting at this point. But it could, I'm hoping that, it's going to be large. So, because
Yeah.
I think it'll be beautiful to have that photo of everybody standing with their candles at night, as the balloons and
Ooh, I
lanterns go.
wonder. I wonder if BK or Dolly could do an aerial view with their drones. That would be awesome.
That would be really cool, and I'm sure Dolly would be on board with that. I'll see if I
He
can
was
email him
he was
and
supposed to be practicing yesterday. I can message him and mention it. He was
yeah,
supposed to be
maybe
practicing
you
with his.
should. Now, I heard BK is not coming, but it's
Oh,
crazy because he bought the drone specifically for the event. So maybe he's just not coming to mine and going to the other. I don't know.
oh,
I don't know
oh,
if he's not coming at all. I haven't spoken with him. I actually tried to reach out to him with the number that I had, but it no longer works. So I
wow.
have no earthly idea what his plans are. But
Hey,
um,
I know Mama
again,
Keys was telling
everybody
him he
is
shouldn't go.
welcome. Yeah, everybody is welcome. The only requirement is check your BS, when you get out of the car, because this is going to
Mm-hmm.
be, this is for Summer Wells. This is not for me. This is not for our petty arguments. This is not for anything. It's for Summer Wells, and it's to honor her memory and to tell law enforcement thank you for all their tireless work they've done on this case. That's all it's for. If people want to make it more, don't come. If they want to, just just stay in your lane. If you don't want to
Yeah.
participate, don't. If you want to participate and you want to support, please do. That's
It's
really okay. Guidance, if you don't mind your fate. Okay, there we go. There we go.
Hey, sister
Great
girl.
to see you. I didn't know who you guys were. Thank you so much for all the hard work you guys have done.
Quick question: is Don still jailed there?
Yes, he is. Okay.
Woo! Okay? That's my underhanded little petty thing. Like I want him to hear us out there.
Yeah, he's. Oh, she just dropped off somehow. But
Uh-oh.
yes, he is there. But that wasn't the reason why we did it there. We did it
Oh,
there
I know.
because it came down to safety, a well-lit place, as well as a great place, because I know law enforcement, and I am just as guilty because, okay, I'm bringing you back up, Guidance. And I'm just as guilty because I don't understand some things. And, I've been a little rough around the edges when it's come to law enforcement. I support law enforcement. Many people try to paint this picture, but I don't, but I do. I love law enforcement. I think they have a thankless job. And even though we're very critical because all eyes are on Hawkins County, I believe that they have done the work that they need to do. I believe that they are trying their hardest. They are having obstacles that they just can't seem to overcome, in my opinion, or it's being slow to overcome.
I'd love to know how much of their staffing issues have hindered this case.
I think it's more financial than staffing, because they had to go to legislation to get more funding for certain resources for this case. And I have a funny feeling what we're dealing with here, because it's such a small, poor county, and it is a small, poor county. Some people, they rely on churches for food. It's rough in their area. I mean, a lot of people are poor, and I think it has a lot to do with their resources, in my personal opinion. Now, have I looked into it deeply? I have not. This is just what my visual observations after being there is telling me.
Yeah, I wonder how they don't have fundraisers or
I don't know how they work there
outside
because I don't live
sources,
there.
and then also if the FBI and TBI is involved, why don't they use their resources if this one can't afford it?
Right. And I do believe they are using FBI resources, because that's what Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner, the Grand County Sheriff in Utah, had to do the same thing. But again, FBI processes a lot of evidence, and it takes a long time for them to get the results back. And I think that's what we may be looking at here. Where they're probably still waiting for forensics to come back. Possibly.
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah. Guidance?
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but thank you for supporting us. And I'm sorry you took the hit for my teaching.
Don't worry. It doesn't matter. Listen, I've been taking the hit since the day I started my YouTube page, so it's nothing. It's nothing. I'd rather take the hit than you guys as volunteers working, and you guys don't deserve. I'd much rather take it. So don't worry about that. I'm a big girl.
It was kind of a last minute, we wanted something manly for the men if they wanted to wear something
Right.
that, so it was just kind of a spur of the moment, time influenced decision. And I've spoke to AF and to clear the record, all of that has been cleared.
Yeah, and he publicly came out and he publicly stated that it wasn't me. But again, they're going, and I'd much rather, again, you guys are volunteers. You guys did this out of the kindness of your heart. I am very appreciative. The people that are that love Summer and that will be attending this vigil, they have no hard feelings. So it is truly, purely all the people that just hate BHB. I mean, they can't get past it. So just ignore them. They have nothing to do with this event. And I can tell you, everybody here is very thankful for you guys' help and assistance. And you guys just jumped in with both feet. And I wasn't even thinking Facebook page. And it wasn't until it was already set up and I looked at it, I thought it was beautiful. I think you guys did a great job, and I want to thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I'd like to try and well, I guess push people in the direction of the event page so they can say if they're going or not, and that would give us a better head count. Maybe I can post the Facebook link somewhere in the comments or something.
Yes. Let me find a way to. Hold on just a second. Let me get into my page. I'm going to mod. I'm going to mod. Oh, maybe it's probably easier on my phone. That's right. I know it's easier on my phone. I'm going to go ahead and mod Guidance, and Guidance can post the link in the chat. And
that's for the event page, Guidance. Well, I mean, either or both pages is fine. But
yeah,
the event page they can check in.
That's important, please.
And then whoever is bringing things, I know there's a couple of sets of glow sticks coming. I think your set of about 50, right?
I brought, I and that was donated by Cher. Listen to Voices Behind the Wall. She donated the purple glow sticks for this event.
Okay. Yeah, we have somebody else bringing some and some flyers. We got shirts. Okay. So as far as like the actual vigil, are y'all gonna be y'all have some speakers lined up?
Right now I'm working on getting somebody to pray. I had some things I was going to say. I was hoping that some folks that are that have covered this case would say something, but nobody has reached out to me just yet. So I will be moving on with finding different type of speakers out there. Also the audience, I'm opening the microphones to the audience so they can have some, which was always part of the plan, because it's not an event for me. It's an event for everybody related to Summer. So I'm trying to figure out how to include everybody that wants to be included in this process. And I know, people have stuff on their hearts that they would like to say and get off. And I can only imagine that, there's a lot of people, not just creators, but the audience that would like to say something. So I will be opening the microphone up to other people to speak. The only requirement is kind words. We don't want to. I know, like me, I have a belief of who may be responsible. I'm not going to be out there pointing fingers at somebody, and I don't want others to do that as well. I just want this to primarily be about Summer's life. Just she affected us in so many different ways, and I just want to give somebody an opportunity to purge that.
Do you know
I
anybody that has a
definitely-
projector?
I don't have a projector. I thought it would be nice that, and I was thinking the same thing of getting some videos of summer, photos and stuff. I was going to
Yeah.
print out some photos and put them in frames on a table, but I would like to put together a video. But again, that was my problem, is I don't know anybody with a projector or a projector screen that we can use. If we can find something, then maybe that would be something we can put together and play for everybody. If somebody wants to run point on that, that would be great.
I'll check. I have a friend of mine that does projection. She does like projection. She's like an activist, so she'll go around with the projectors to different areas, and it'll have her slideshow on it or whatever. So I'll ask her. I think you can actually rent some things like that from libraries. Our library's pretty awesome. I'll check with them. But it was just an idea. I was just wondering.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I actually was thinking about that too, but I didn't know who would have a projector. I wasn't, I just don't have the ability to bring something. I'm bringing a pretty large speaker and a tent just in case the weather gets a little. I don't anticipate it, but I'm just preparing for everything.
Yeah, if I get my truck out of the shop, I'll bring a tent as well.
Yeah. And another thing is for the people that are attending this, if you guys, this is kind of standing, I'm not bringing chairs. So if you guys want to bring like those little fold up chairs so you guys can have an opportunity to sit instead of standing, by all means, bring chairs, bring whatever you need to bring. I'm like I said, I'm meeting with somebody at the sheriff's office on the 14th, just to figure out where our area is going to be and what
we'll be there on the 14th too. So if you need help.
Okay. Email me. Hold on, guidance. We'll get right to you in just a second. Email me, either one of you guys. If you want to email me your phone number, I'll send you my phone number, and we can stay in contact as we move forward.
Okay. I was thinking of making. Do you Facebook chat much or not? Not really.
Yeah, you guys can. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll see if we can make a Facebook chat.
Perfect. Perfect. Guidance.
Becky Tillison, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, just posted as a women's missionary group that is local. It wants to come and like to say a prayer at the vigil.
Nice.
That would be amazing. Yes. Tell her yes.
She's in chat.
Oh, she's in chat. Yes. That would be amazing. We would love that. There's no, please get a hold of me, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Just put in the subject line, Summer Wells Vigil, and I'll reach out to you and give you my number. But yes, we need people to speak. We need people to pray, not only for summer, but for law enforcement, because they've got they've got a lot of work that they have to do for this baby. And they've done a lot of work as is, but they still have to bring, they got to bring this home. You know what I'm saying? They got to finally find out what happened, and they've got a lot of work to do. So we want to pray for them. We want to give them the strength that they need to continue to go, because, just like me, they've been beat up on, and I'm part of that. And this is not for that. We want them to know that we love them. We trust them. We need them to bring this home. We need to find answers. We need to, give justice for Summer Wells, and however we can pray and come together to do that. That's what we want to do.
How big is I'm not watching chat, but how big is the missionary group?
I haven't even gotten to that portion yet on my chat.
They'll answer.
Let me find out.
Yeah, you guys.
Okay, she said she will. They've been taking things to help as well. Becky, if you could send an email so we can get together. I'm going to post Bullhorn Betty's email.
Yeah, and don't forget to post your link as well in the chat.
She's all over it. What else was I going to say? They also, what about that church that y'all went and donated the food to? You think, are you in contact with them at all? Maybe they want to come.
What is it?
The church that y'all donated the food and stuff to for the
Yes,
food
I have
drive?
to still reach out to them. I had to look up photos to find out which one it was. I reached out to a Baptist church near the sheriff's office, but we will be reaching
Okay.
out to. But if I, and I will let them know and invite them. But if we have somebody, because the main thing is to have somebody pray, and if we have a group that is already going to commit to doing that, I'm
Right.
happy. I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah. Also, did you see what Krama Mama is doing with the drive for that, what's it called, guidance?
Isaiah House.
Isaiah House.
No,
They're
I
doing a
haven't.
drive. They're doing a drive where you, I guess it's kids that are, is it like a group home or something? But they need,
It's the group that's also supporting the boys, I believe. It's the
so anyway, I
foster
can
care.
send that information or put it in the Facebook group, but it's they need clothes, all ages clothes, or like
Yes,
Walmart
please
cards or
do. Grandma Mama's not my biggest fan, but anything to help
I
the
know.
children, I'm down with.
Well, they're doing their vigil about the same time as ours, and I was just thinking whatever we're bringing, we could bring to Warriors beforehand
Yeah,
and drop it off
that's a
for
great
their
idea.
go, and then go to ours or whatever. So
Yeah. So if anybody has, apparently they're going to be having an event at Warriors. So if anybody has any child's clothes, male or female, is it a
yes,
particular? Okay,
no, it's
male or female,
all
little
ages
girls or
pretty
little
much.
boys' clothes, shoes.
Babies, yep.
Yeah, babies, anything you guys have around your house that you don't need anymore. If you guys would like to pack a bag, we'll definitely make sure that they get those items for the kids at the Isaiah House, for the Isaiah House. That sounds like a great idea.
Cool. I think we about got it covered. I just wanted to make sure we had enough. Someone said they're going to bring water. Someone's donating a cake. So that'll be cool. But otherwise, we'll just bring our own self and our own whatever, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be family fun friendly. So if you want to bring your children out, you're more than welcome to. We're going to have, again, the glow sticks, the candles, and I've got lighters here, so I'll bring them. I don't use them anymore. I used to lose them all the time, so I bought. I don't know if they're appropriate because they're Halloween, but
It works. How many candles do you have?
Candles, so I'm probably going to get beat up for that.
Oh, it's fine.
Can't win.
No matter what you
how
do,
many candles?
it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, there's
What'd
somebody
you
will
say,
have something to
Guidance?
say.
What'd you say, Guidance?
No matter what you do, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, it is. I've got 200 candles with the discs for them. And
200 candles. Okay, so 200 candles, and I think we probably have at least about 100 glow sticks from what I'm gathering.
yeah, and then
All
I've got
together. So
Dolly donated the beautiful purple balloons. They're biodegradable. I still need to get the helium, which I'm not bringing. I'm just going to stop there and get the helium and blow those up. So I've got to get the helium and some string, because I didn't see string in the bag. There might be string in the bag, but I didn't see it. So I doubt that there's string in the bag for the balloons. So those will also, if anybody wants to volunteer, we're going to be getting there obviously a lot earlier than when the event starts, so we can get the balloons blown up, and we got to have a weight to hold them down as people come, so we can hand those out to the people. So if, there's going to be a lot of stuff that goes into this on the 15th. So if we want to get a group of volunteers to meet there at a specific time to get this stuff set up, that would be great as well.
If
Okay.
you need help with anything on transportation, I'm pretty close to you. So
Right.
I'll be happy, because I'm just taking my daughter, but I'll be able to fill the car since there's not going to be that many
Gotcha.
in my car. I'll have room.
Very good. Well, I appreciate, it's nice to finally talk to you guys. I really do appreciate all the work you're doing. And please don't allow the hate to affect you. You guys have done an amazing job. And again, if there's stuff that they want to blame me for, just let them blame me for it. Literally, seriously, it doesn't bother me at all. I just want you guys to continue to do your great work.
If this makes a little bit of sense, it only makes more motivation.
Right.
For me. My background was my mom had a class action lawsuit against somebody very big, and I was almost kidnapped as a child at that age. And I come from an extremely small town, less than 2,000, very rural.
Mhm.
And we basically had to move away without, basically under everybody else's names, and kind of disappear for a bit because the state attorney basically said, don't go anywhere alone. And they go for your kids first. So I've always had a connection towards kids that are the innocent victims.
Yeah.
So this hits home a lot. And plus, my birthday is the summer solstice. So
Aw. Well,
definitely.
you're thankful, and that I think that's what drives a lot of people, believe it or not, have a lot of stories, and yours is by far. I mean, that's pretty scary as a young child to be dealing with and not knowing. And I'm glad you were able to escape that situation. Some kids just aren't as lucky.
Yep. It definitely is scary when you have somebody in the window.
Yeah, I trust me. I know. I'm an adult, and I experienced that several months ago, and it scared the living daylights out of me. And I can't imagine as a young child or as a parent of a young child having to deal with something like that, because it is unnerving. It makes you feel your privacy, your safety, everything. It takes all of that away, and people don't understand.
Yeah, it definitely hits home. And that's why I've always wanted to be a big advocate for the kids, because in the background, they don't have that voice.
Right.
And they're still trying to process their feelings and what's going on.
Yeah,
So when
they don't
somebody
know.
does go missing, it definitely hits home to me because that could have been me. When my mom passed away, I came across all the threats and the letters and all the information. And it definitely puts a different hit in your gut, kind of like Gabby with the DV. Everybody definitely followed along. And if it touches you in a way of relating, it kind of hits a little bit more stronger too.
Yeah.
Besides being a little and not have a voice,
Right.
and their family not being their voice.
Yeah. That's what I
Because
said. It's sad because, baby Summer, we are her voice. Her parents aren't fighting for her. We hear that, just as March, when her grandmother came on WJHL, she's asked her, how many times have you reached out to law enforcement? Well, law enforcement hasn't reached out to me since the day the YouTubers were down there at the end of the drive. When it's like, who has a small child that's missing and never once calls law enforcement to say, hey, what's new in the case? Like I was out there with Paola Miranda Rosa's family, and they were she was a grown adult that went missing. And her family was on the phone every single day with law enforcement, every day, wanting to know what they found, where they looked, telling them that, we're going to have our search party out here. Tell us where you guys have searched so we don't double search that area. I mean, they every single day, to the point that law enforcement was annoyed with them. And then you got the polar opposite with these parents and the grandparents, where they don't even bother calling.
Yeah. And I've seen that a lot in my personal life and on the outside as well, because my biological father was taken out of the home and adopted out. He grew up 9 years in an orphanage. And he's one of those horror stories of being locked in the closet. Won't go too deep into that, but of torture and the parents never really being there. I also took care of foster kids and adopted kids and my daughter herself. The dad is fair weathered because of his chosen substances, if that makes sense.
Right.
And it definitely needs to be more awareness of parents being in their corner. And if not, that's why we're here.
Yeah. That's why the whole world is watching Hawkins County and what they do in TBI, So, but we appreciate all this work that you guys have been doing. I appreciate your time. It's nice to finally, chat with you guys and say thank you personally. Suze is off right now, or Susie. I don't know how she says her name, but just thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. The people that are going to come to this will really appreciate it. And it's just nice to see all the people coming together for a common good.
It's our pleasure. Summer Moon has our heart.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she mentioned she did get somebody to print off all of the flyers as well.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you guys. You guys have done a lot of hard work. We appreciate it. Believe me.
Well, thank you. And it's an honor to try to be a voice.
For Summer. Yep. Thank you.
I can barely say it, but yeah. Thank you and have a beautiful weekend.
You
Or
too.
Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day to you too. Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day.
Bye.
Phone lines are still open, folks. There are some of the people that have worked very hard and tirelessly and have done an amazing job on helping with this event that, really does deserve a thank you. So from the Bullhorn Betty channel to you guys, thank you. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. There was a question that somebody had asked if Candace was trying to sell the property. Is that true? She isn't on the deed, ? I don't know the answer to that. I would think it would be kind of hard for her to sell that property with Don Wells' name on the quitclaim deed, even if she had some kind of interest in that property. So does another person. I don't think she could be able to sell it without the other person, but that's just my opinion. Bullhorn Betty, how can I help you?
Hi, Betty. How you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to talk to you just about what you were just talking about. It was on, I believe it was on Michelle After Dark. She had on her video where I think it was on Facebook where Candace posted that she was trying to sell the property. And I kind of thought about it and I was like, if she was trying to sell the property, would Summer's body be on the property? You know what I mean? Like, why would you try to sell the property if her body was hidden there?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of unknowns, and my question is, it comes back to they've pranked so many people for so long that, is this just another ruse to get attention? Is it not? I have no faith in anything that comes out of Candace or Don's mouth. And Jody Sue, quite frankly, has been caught in so many mistruths that it makes it hard for me to believe anything that might come out of her mouth. But does it mean it's not true? No, it doesn't. I have no idea one way or another if she's trying to sell the property. I guess in June 15th, we'll find out when we're in the area if there's for sale signs or, advertisements to purchase the property. But I would think that would be wholly foolish for them to do. But, we've talked, Jonathan, I believe, stated recently that he doesn't believe she ever made it back to the house. And many of you guys know I believe she made it back, but I don't believe she ever got out of the truck. Somewhere, and that's just speculation. We don't have any evidence one way or another whether she got out of the vehicle or not. We're just trying to put pieces of the puzzle of what the information we do have and trying to piece these things together, because law enforcement is not telling us anything, and they have every right not to, of course. So, would she be there? I don't know if she would be. All I know is that every time I leave that area, the area in and around her property, I feel like I'm further and further away from Summer. Does that mean anything? It doesn't. It's just a feeling. there's a lot of places. I mean, I think it was somebody was, I think his name Andrew Mull was talking about 3.5 acres. Their property's 11 acres. I've got the map here. I don't know exactly. Where is my map? I don't know exactly. Here it is. I'll tell you. Their property. Oops, I ripped it. I burn it. I hate when that happens. Oh, it doesn't have it on this one. There is a paper that I do have it on that actually marks their area. And it wasn't, he had like this weird drawing of their area. And it was a little different than what the tax records show hit the property being. But I'm pretty sure the property is like 11 acres or more. And, there's a lot of stuff.
The post that she put up, it said 11.2 acres, and she was selling it for $70,000. And I believe this was a while ago. This wasn't like recent.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was like right after Don went to jail, and, she was talking about selling it. I think she was still online saying she wanted to divorce him, and, but it never, obviously it never came to be. But I just thought about it when I saw that video. I thought, well, if you're trying to sell a property, would you sell a property with a dead body on the property?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just thinking, like, are they searching in the right area? Is she even really there?
Yeah.
And
there is a host of possibilities. They may be wanting to get out of Dodge, but if we were to take the idea, I mean, there is quite a many miles that this child could potentially be. I find it suspect that law enforcement has honed in and around that property. Does that mean she's specifically on that property? No. But could she be nearby? Perhaps.
Right.
So we'll see how it all rolls down. But I do know that she has, okay, here's the Isaiah stuff. If anybody, this is related to Krama Mama. Hold on. Krama Mama. Let me just get this out for real quick. For those that would like to participate in that. Sorry about that. But yeah, getting back to, where could she be located? Could she be we don't know. At this point, it's been a year. So, some people have speculated he's a drywaller, and she could be somewhere tucked out of sight. I don't know if they would risk, I'm kind of with you. I'm not sure if she was there, they would risk selling that house and somebody finding her.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did try to sell the house in some of the property once before. I'm wondering if that's what people are talking about. Maybe they were just stumbling across the fact that the house was once for sale since Don owned it. Don has sold. I mean, that property was much bigger than it is now. And he has sold a portion of that property since being there, from my understanding.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or maybe it was his mother, before he got it. But I heard the property was much bigger and a portion of the property was sold.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, I just wanted to bring that to your attention. I didn't know if you were aware of that, but I saw that, after I saw that video. So, but thank you for.
Yes, thank you for
sharing.
calling in. I appreciate it. And for anybody else that would like to call in, please do 941-405-3357. Thank you so much, love.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
So it is apparent that Dolly is sick, and hold on a second. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've been on here. Melody, I guess you had some questions here. I'm trying to find you. I'm way, 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 way behind on the chat. Yes, and for those that are curious, yes, I received a call back from Cliff Evans with the Hawkins County Sheriff. He has confirmed that we're fine on doing the event in their parking lot from 7 to 9:30. Hold on. Sorry, Melody. I didn't notice her hands aren't swollen in purple at the nails like Summer. Thank you. Let me go back to that photo. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me just a second. I didn't email it to myself, so let me email it. And we'll pull it up on the big. And I'm going to have to use this one because I did cut out the background, as you know, for that for the little girl, and the one that just has her, I didn't blur out her face, so I won't be able to pull that one up because then it'll expose the child's identity, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to pull this thumbnail up just to take a look at it. Okay, here we go. Oh, I don't have a good photo of her fingers on here. Give me just a second. I'm going to play some music for you guys while I get these photos. Just bear with me and we'll get the thing up. All right. So we should have this coming up shortly. Let's see if it's in here yet. So what Melody is talking about, there we go, is the fingers. So you can see the purple. Let me get over here. You can see the purple on Summer's hands under her cuticle beds here. But her daughter, or her relative rather, has none. So there's no purpling of their fingers that we saw with Summer Wells. So, and not only that, but her family, her relatives' fingers aren't puffy and swollen like Summer's is. Her fingers and hands are all puffy and swollen. So She tried her best to get her in the position. The position was a little um, uncomfortable for this child. And again, no purpling of the cuticles. We see the purpling of the cuticles on Summer Wells' hands. And if I got a clearer picture that I could blow up, I will be sure to bring to you guys. But we see it clear as day in here. It's a little blurry, but you can see it as opposed to this child. This child has healthy nail beds. This child has unhealthy nail beds and purpling under and around the cuticles. So that's important. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. I do appreciate that. The balloons are biodegradable. We didn't buy non-biodegradable balloons. We made sure everything that we've got is biodegradable and breaks down. I made sure everything that we've got for this event is you know green friendly. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to get those or not. I still haven't finished it. Yeah, open mic. I haven't finished everything, but I think we've got a lot of stuff coming out there. Dolly's making shirts. Um, I've got the balloons. Dolly even sponsored the balloons and the lanterns. We've got the candles. We've got the glow sticks. We've got cake. We've got water. And, before this is all done, I'm sure it's gonna. Some people may bring some finger foods and stuff like that. For the folks out there. We will be out there for about 2.5 hours. So I'm not sure if the bracelets will be necessary or not, but we'll check it out. We'll figure it out. We still got a little bit of time. It looks like we've got somebody that's going to pray over the vigil, which is great. And we also got to think of maybe some ideas of a playlist, some music. The speaker I am bringing out there does have Bluetooth, so we can play music while everybody gets to meet each other. And even with when I said meet and greet, people are flipping out like this is like some kind of celebrity, red carpet. It's nothing like that. Many of us have been working together or following each other for a really long time, and we've never met each other face to face. And when you meet somebody face to face, you generally have a conversation. And so, I want to make sure everybody feels comfortable and knows who everybody is and, gets that opportunity to have those conversations before, before we start talking and before we start praying. It just seems like it would be the proper thing to do for something like this, that everybody gets an opportunity to walk around and introduce themselves to each other. That's the way I was always taught. I mean, this is not the first event that has ever been put together for a candlelight vigil, and many people hug each other and have shed some tears and tell each other some inspiring words. And I want to make sure everybody has that opportunity and time to do that. So we will see how it all transpires. I don't have any expectations other than us doing prayer vigil and a candlelight vigil for Summer Wells. That's the only expectation I have. People coming together for the love of summer. That's the only expectation I have. If everything went wrong, the speakers didn't work, the food fell through, there's no water out there, nobody brought chairs, guess what? At the end of the day, we are all going to have a great experience because we are there for a common good and a common goal, and that's Summer Wells. For those that would like to participate in the Facebook group, there's the Summer Wells Vigil that the girls that were just up here had set up. And they've worked very hard. I pop in and out of there every now and again just to see what's being posted and said. And, they've got it under control. They're doing a very good job. And they're doing this from the heart. And I'm very grateful but they stepped up to the plate to help in this capacity. Wow. I wonder, Hattie, what is the consensus in your holler? Because I met some of the neighbors there, and they just don't really care for the wells, and apparently never have. If you guys would like to call in, Hattie, if you would like to call in, please do. Just do the number again for you guys. Wish I knew how to post, like, pin the number for the call in, but I don't. I'm sure once I work with it, I will. Thank you, Cindy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. You know, there's a lot of good points here. The gal that helped with this, you know, did, like I said, went above and beyond. I was just doing a Slurpee challenge. They actually thought, hey, you know, let's position my relative in a way and see what comes of it. I mean, that was brilliant to me, and I would not have thought of that. I never even thought about the position of this child and how uncomfortable it would be. Let me pull this back. Give me just a second. I'm getting to you. I'm getting to you. Oh my gosh, you may have to wait. You might have to call back. Oh my gosh, this thing is not working for me for whatever reason. Sorry guys, I had the picture up. I'm still trying to open this computer. There we go. Guys, give me just a second. Call back, please. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Hold on a second. Garbage. Give me just a second. I will be right back with you, I promise. Whoever was just calling in, please call back in. Yeah, sorry about that. I just saw it, so please call back in. I couldn't get to there we go. Sorry about that. I had that photo up. I'm still getting adjusted to how the screen goes away. And I couldn't see the phone to answer it. So if you want to call back, please call back. I am here. Oh, that's not even the right one either. Hold on a second. Hold on. I think I closed down the right one. Hold on a second. All right, got it. Sorry about that. This is Sandra. How can I help you?
Hi, this is April C. How are you doing today?
Oh, good. Nice to hear you. How are you?
Oh, thank you. Well, good. Everybody says I'm you online, so I figured I'd use to see who I really was supposed to be here.
I appreciate it. You know, a lot of people mistake me for many other people.
Well, they think I'm pretending to be you, pretending to be me, so it's quite interesting. Oh yeah. It's been quite interesting. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking my call. I'm a friend out of Florida, and apparently because I live in Florida and you live in Florida, we have to be the same people. It only makes sense, right?
Of course, gotcha.
Okay, so I did notice yesterday though. Why I looked you up yesterday because everybody kept saying I was you, and I was like, who is this damn Betty person? So I went and looked you up yesterday, and you happened to be doing it live. You were talking about the milk video. Mm-hmm. I'm the one who had brought up the condensation. There was no condensation on the milk.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I also found out something else yesterday. I was watching the Daring Creator, and he was playing a 911 dispatch call. And there was a 911 dispatch call on June 15th about a red truck that is currently on and off the road. Well, that had me thinking about a video I had seen on Nana's Angel, so I went back and looked at it. John is recording himself filming an accident the morning of June 15th. Mm-hmm. I didn't know for sure it was June 15th until I heard Aaron verifying the 911 call. Mm-hmm. Now, on this, what Nana didn't have on that video, she didn't have the timestamp.
Aaron actually has a train camp. It's like at 11 something in the afternoon, like 11:45. I mean, I'm going off memory. I need to go back and look at my notes. It's like 11:45 in the afternoon. So why is John at 11:45 in the afternoon filming this accident at the bottom of his driveway, driving the white truck on the day that Summer goes missing?
Very
I
interesting.
mean, I thought he was driving a Subaru this whole time, and John is in a white truck. If you look in the mirror, the little side mirror,
Yeah.
you can see that John is filming the accident and he's driving the white truck. If you go to Nana's Angels, it's something about white truck.
And I've been speculating here because I didn't see any reason why Hunter would lie about Candace telling him that Don was at work with the boys. Now, granted, maybe at that stop the boys wasn't in the truck, but he said he left early in the morning to go to work and that he had breakfast and all this other stuff. So that does play in part as to why at 11:30 are you home when you're telling the world that you're in another. I would like to look at that from Aaron. He was the one I was talking about that I watched a little bit yesterday, and he was, he goes around. He has that little camera thing that goes all over that. He gets this bird's eye view and gets down. Is that the same one? And what is his name? Something Mull.
Yes, that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he also does a really good video on showing how the picture is separate from the video.
Yeah.
How it is not the same. You look at her hand placement. In the video, her hands are almost touching her jacket the entire time. In that picture, there's about a 3-inch gap where you can see the black, where you can actually see that picture did not come from that video.
Gotcha.
Now, it took me expensive video equipment to figure that out, by the way, everybody. Expensive video equipment. When I could just look at the 3 fingers and figured it out without all that.
Right. So I'm curious,
Let's talk about him for just a second.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Hunter for just a second. Okay, I know for a fact that Allie was losing her house. Okay, she is in this 5-year housing program where they're required to save money, and at the end of that 5 years, it's supposed to help them be able to buy a house. Well, Allie wasn't working her required 30 hours a week that she was supposed to work. She failed multiple housing inspections, and she had to move. And that was Allie's motive in all this, was money. She needed to move. Okay, well, that got me thinking. I knew that when Hunter came out, that they'd be back at it. So I started watching crime in their local area. Okay, I found that Hunter's friend, shortly after he gets out, robbed the bank, shoots out with police. And I'm like, great, this is really great. Now, I knew there was rumored that Hunter supposedly stole the core with the game unit, but I don't work off rumors.
Right.
I work off percentages and facts and numbers. So I kind of just dismissed that and put it to the side. But then I found that his friend literally robbed the bank, got out with police, and then I started thinking to myself, I'm going to watch more crime in your area. And I found a whole lot more. And that's where I don't really think I could openly say on live other than there's some double murders that was connected in there somewhere. And I'd be more than happy to share that with you. Now, I actually reached out to Justice for All when I connected Jose to double murders.
Yeah.
And said, look, here's the information. Here's where you can find it. This is exactly where you can find it. Justin threatened to dox me, threatened that if I keep talking about this case, all this stuff. And I'm like, when does commentary, people that just comment on YouTube threaten to get doxed? I mean, why is he so concerned about me talking about this case? I mean, why? Because I have information about the condensation on the milk, about the fingers on the videos. Like I said, I only deal in facts. I don't deal in speculation and rumors and all that stuff. So, I mean, that just got me thinking even more, what's there to hide? So I actually did a real deep dive on Jose and Jesse and all of them. And I think she'd be really interested in what I found.
Yeah, send them over to me, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I'll take a look and dive in. Yeah,
Absolutely.
but that I didn't think to look at the criminal activity since he's been home. That's a different perspective.
There's a lot there.
And
There's
not
a
only
lot
that,
there.
but if that is accurate and he's involved in it, I think one of the things that Mr. Mull had said is that or maybe it wasn't him, maybe it was another. I've been watching a few different channels, but somebody had said that for that if Hunter texted like when Candace was at the medical facility with her mom and sitting out in the truck with Summer supposedly. If
No, let's see. On the 4th, she was also at the medical facility with her mom on the 4th of June.
That's what I heard
She
as
was
well.
also at the medical facility with her mom. Now, there's also what Dudley said. For the car accident in Dollar General, they were all, Candace and her mother was at the emergency room that day. But see, that also had me thinking, why so many emergency room visits for the mother, for Candace's mother? Okay, she goes dollar store. She goes on June 4th and she goes on June 15th. Well, that's 3 doctor's appointments, all at the emergency room, all in the same month.
Yeah.
How many times does she need her knee checked out that month?
Yeah. And not only that, but we know that the kids never got any kind of medical attention.
True.
So I mean, we've heard, and we can see scars on their feet that align with a statement that was stated. I don't know if it was Allie or her mom or her grandmother that stated it, but that one of the boys sliced their foot open and needed stitches, and they wrapped the foot up and took off for a vacation or something like that, or went out of town or something to that effect with his foot.
Allie said that. Yes, I remember that. Allie said that she was out standing in the front yard with her mom and a bunch of other people and said that the boy needed medical attention. She took off with him.
Yeah, she said she didn't have insurance and she couldn't take him to the hospital. So it
Now,
does.
the video that you're seeing of Summer with her nail beds and all that, now I don't know if you know this, I'm asking you, that that's not the original, right?
Well, I have the actual video that was played. I grabbed that particular photo off of the internet, but I possess the actual video that was
the original.
The original video. I do have that in one of my files. It's not on this particular computer; it's on the Dell. But I do have.
Because if you go back and look at the nail beds in the original videos, they don't look like that. Another thing that actually, we were all talking about this memorial this weekend. When you go swimming, underneath your nails, even if it's dirty water, it's completely clean. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
You go swimming, you get in the bathtub, underneath the nails are completely clean. Summer's nails are completely dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes you wonder why.
She went swimming that day. Why is her nails all dirty?
Yeah.
See,
and if we were to take what you're saying, go ahead.
that she didn't go swimming at all.
It's possible, but we're still facing it again. We're just taking what we acquire and making determinations on what we acquired, right? So if the information we acquire is wrong, then our analysis will be wrong. If, for example, people are starting to now float around, is it the 15th we're looking at or is it the 14th? Because now that we're kind of here left to our own devices, we look back on some interviews and Dudley had some pretty surprising claims, such as, he was talking about when he got to work on the 14th, that's the day he got fired, Don was acting weird. He was laying in a shower almost.
Well, actually, they have a clinical term for that. Okay, before criminals do a crime, they go through this subconscious checklist of things that they do. That's actually preparing yourself for the crime. I think Dudley was correct. I think he did see Don in that bathtub that day. Mm-hmm. I think Don was preparing himself for the loss of Summer coming the next day. Not only that, but I'm so tempted. Actually, did you hear about the double murder in court with the 7-year-old and the grandmother that was shot and killed?
I did not. I may have that. I don't know when it happened, but it may have been something I came across early on that I
It's only
just,
been since Spencer's been out. Yeah, I've only been following the crime in that area since Spencer's been out.
okay.
Well, I was actually looking for Hunter's friends on the Facebook list. But if you go to the murdered child mother's Facebook list,
Mhm.
guess who's the Facebook friends with the murdered child's mother?
Who?
Jose Roman. Jose Roman.
Mm.
Yeah, in Kingsport. The dead child, the dead 7-year-old and his grandmother, you find Jose Roman on the mother's friend's Facebook list.
A
Yeah.
lot of
Okay.
people that know each other that have now met their demise is a little suspect. I have to say, it's odd, to say the least.
I'm not convinced that Jose's dead. Okay, I know this really helps. I know how it sounds believable. But with Justin threatening stalk me over Jose, and yes, Casey did call the morgue and say, do you have a Jose Roman? Well, there's some questions if that's even Jose's real name or not.
Mhm.
So why would they admit to having a Jose Roman if that's not his real name? Plus, it's not like they gave, an age or yes, this is verification of that particular Jose. I looked up Jose Roman, and there's about 4 dead right now all over the country.
Mhm.
I sit here more than I'm like, Justin's going to say, oh, I had to say he was dead because I'm a good person and he was going to commit suicide and I just had to lie to everybody because I'm such a good person and I had to say, this is what I expect to come out later. I'm not so sure if Jose really is dead. I'm not convinced. So what? He called the morgue and they said they had Jose Roman in it. So what? I mean, it's hardcore as Justin went after me. I just have to believe your story.
Mhm.
I mean, okay, I said that Jose Roman, just in Justice for All Time. I was like, yeah, Jose's a pig. You know what? Me and 1,000 other people have said that.
Mhm.
But then Justin's like, where's your proof? Where's your proof? Okay, so we need proof on all these people to have an opinion. And how come my opinion has to match Justin's opinion? How come I can't have my own opinion?
Right.
Do I need to be told what my opinion is? In my opinion, I watched Jose's interviews, and in my opinion, I have enough to rip it apart to where I feel that Jose was exhibiting distancing behavior.
I agree with
Because
that.
all these things that happen, but he never places himself into one single scenario. The only thing he did was smoke cigarettes. That's it. Smoke cigarettes. That's all he did. Bullshit.
I believe that there was some deception and I've been vocal about that in his statements that he made. I felt that he wasn't being very truthful about everything. I don't believe I believe with every ounce of me that there was something that went on between him and Candace, because even in that interview, it's like, Don wasn't home, but it was Don's fault that the house was a mess and the kids weren't eating. But he wasn't there he had just gotten back. So that means that was your responsibility and Candace's responsibility, and you guys failed. But he never said that. It was.
What do you think about that? Okay, Jose is there less than a week, okay, with Candace. And Allie's already calling the police to get her kids back from the heel. Jose's only been there a week, and there's already police problems. Well, Jose says in that interview that Hunter lost his virginity, that True had sex in that house, that the boys were watching True have sex through some holes in the wall or something, which I don't even know how that's possible. That place had no wall downstairs.
Right.
Okay, that place had no wall. So how are the kids watching True have sex? Then you have to remember, in that same video that you're talking about with them all outside, they actually say that Candace and her mother came to talk to True. Why would they come to talk to True?
Right.
Remember they came to talk to True. Well, why would they come to talk to True about Jose?
Right.
Then in the beginning, Allie says that Jose, she doesn't want anything to do with him ever again, that he had messaged some sort of crush message to her daughter, and she thought that was odd. She didn't want nothing to do with him. But yet, her next interview, oh, Jose is fine. Jose is fine. This is what I've noticed. Everybody covers for Jose. Every single person. Dawn, Candace,
of
Yep,
South Carolina.
I got that
forget which
too
one.
because they didn't, for whatever reason, didn't want to say where he was. And we found out, at least to the best of my knowledge, that he wasn't in North Carolina; he was in South Carolina. Now he's passed away all the way across the country in San Diego, California. So, and my question is, if he was broke, how did he get a ticket or be able to go from South Carolina to San Diego, California? I mean, it's expensive to travel. So how did he get there?
About that too. Okay, Jose has went. Okay, first we've heard the story of Jose. He's went with everybody could ever know. If you think about it, Jeffy and Andrew Hill said that Jose lived with him for 2 years. Jeffy says that man did not provide $1 for his care. So Justice is all out there. Oh, he's such a hard worker. Well, he lived with Jeffy for 2 years, didn't provide $1 for his care. But after he leaves Jeffy's house, he sends him a phone and $650 from Alaska. He don't even send his own children money. But he's going to send Jeffy a phone and $650 from Alaska. Well, I happen to catch that live. Chasing Truth was trying to nail him hard, about when was the timeline that he was in Alaska. And they keep flip-flopping and flip-flopping. But what she didn't realize is they sat there and named every place that Jose lived before the Summerwell incident. But then after the Summerwell incident, he goes to Alaska and emails Jeffy a phone. Now, Jeffy never says what he says to this phone, never says where the phone is, just that he never looks inside the phone, and the phone is destroyed and is
Bottom of
the
the
phone
ocean.
can never be found again. This is my theory. I think that Jose goes with every single person he meets. He was at his son's house. He met Jeffy next door to his son's house. He moves in with Jeffy. He meets Andrew. He stays with Andrew. He meets Candace. He goes with Candace. Now, Andrew Hill does say on his live that Jose was in Tennessee at the time that Summer goes missing. I know he retracts it, but he says it multiple times, just talking without even thinking twice. Then he even goes as far as to say that Jose couldn't be involved, even though he was in police court, because Jose had a doctor's appointment that day. Now, let me get this straight. Jose had a doctor's appointment that day. Hunter had a doctor's appointment. And Grandis had a doctor's appointment all on the same day that Summerwell goes to.
I didn't hear about Hunter's doctor or anything like that, and actually didn't hear about Jose's doctor because, we were told, and I don't remember what all we had done, but we confirmed that he was not there. Now, did we do a good job? I don't know. We were told that he was out of the state.
Andrew Hill says he was there.
Yeah, and then we had Dudley that said he believed he was there a few days before all this stuff went out. That was on his interview as well. So it's possible.
It's possible. I mean, anything is possible at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that all my information is right or all someone else's information is right. All I'm saying is that all the information needs to be looked at.
Yeah.
Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it is wrong. But let's look at it. Let's determine it's wrong and move on from it.
I agree. That's why we've decided, and not just me, many other creators have decided to go back, take this downtime and go back to the beginning and just review everything. And like I said, I'm finding stuff I never even saw. For example, I came across the interview that Ms. Scher did with Don a couple months after Summer went missing. I never saw it before. And
I haven't seen that one either.
It was a pretty eye-opening with some of the statements that he made on that live, because of all the stuff that I've known up to this point. I never heard that. And it's like, is that true? Maybe that explains this. Maybe that explains this, And then, of course, we're hearing that, the red truck. And even then, I think it was on the behavior panel that I first heard about a wreck with a lady in a red truck, and he took a picture of it. And then, of course, later that day, this red truck comes up, but now this red truck has a full bladder bed,
Okay, you
bladder
have to
bed,
watch
and
Nana's
buckets.
videos because I thought Dawn had posted that. Okay, when I actually said in chat, and I actually misspoke, I said in a chat room yesterday that Dawn had posted that online. Well, I went back and rewatched Nana's video because I hadn't seen it for a little bit. So I went back and rewatched it. She says that she actually received those pictures from someone called Selena.
Mm.
I thought Dawn had posted those pictures, and that's how everyone knew about the wreck.
Mhm.
But she said she got those pictures from Green Eyes.
Yeah, I've heard of that name
Green
before.
Eyes is in that whole story. But how did Green Eyes get these pictures directly from Dawn? And then how did Nana's Angels get these pictures directly from Green Eyes?
So,
I mean, I
from
assume
what
they
I
were posted online.
from what I've gathered with this Green Eyes person, it's a male, and they are friends with Jody Sue Brown. So it
But
sounds
they
like
say
it
Green
might
Eyes
be
is
a
threatening
local.
her.
Hmm?
I had seen something where she said that this person Green Eyes was threatening her.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what
maybe
she
I
had
have
said.
it wrong. I knew that Green Eyes has reached out to Jody Sue Brown because somebody had told me about some kind of conversation and where she muted him while she was on a live and talked to him and then unmuted him. And I listened to that, and it didn't sound like he was yelling at her. It sounded like they were buddy, but who knows?
I don't know her content. I'm fairly new to this too. I mean, people say, well, you're, late to the party. Well, I mean, maybe so, but I mean, ever since I've been in on it, I mean, I've noticed
Fresh eyes
things
are fresh eyes.
there's no condensation on the milk. I'm sorry, but I mean, even Dolly is, and I love Dolly. Dolly is the reason into Summer's case, I've chatted in his room forever. They never looked it up. I just go in there when I can't sleep late at night and chat in his room.
I like his commentary.
I looked it up, I was like, these people talk about this case all the time. Like, what's the harm in just looking at it, Then I just started, Dolly says all the time, it's 83 degrees out there. Well, no, it wasn't, Dolly. First of all, it was 75 degrees. The low that morning was in the 60s. You can't just look at the days to witness it. You have to look at the whole month of weather patterns before to witness it. Mm-hmm. It was cool. It was not hot. The high that day was 75 degrees. And I knew for a fact that if you took milk out in a hot temperature, there's going to be condensation. And so it was those fingers and that condensation that made me start upgrading all my computer equipment and buying better programs so that I could actually go through and research this stuff. And I was just like I guess I could save myself a whole bunch of money if I had just looked at those fingers, though.
Yeah. There's something going on with it, and then we have one of our people in here that has, did Summer Wells effect. They got the grape slushy. They positioned the child in the same position as one of the photos, and it makes you wonder. This child saying they're severely uncomfortable in that position, and it was a new perspective that I never even thought about. Was the comfort
Well,
level.
I think I know what they gave her. Matter of fact, I know exactly what's in the ingredients. I've even tried it myself. If you go into the Hippie house, well, I don't know if it's still there, but there was a huge display of this liquid. And if you look on the videos or pictures online, you can see the orange soda that they actually sell there at the Hippie house. I think that they put that liquid into the orange soda and gave her Skittles to cover up the case because they knew they were getting ready to transfer her, and they knew it would be a shit show. She would cry, she would whine, she would autistic. She ain't gonna want to go with no strangers. She's gonna cry. Why are you doing this to me? Why are there's gonna be tears. They did it for themselves. They did it to. I mean, these people are disgusting. They didn't even feed her dinner before they told her. Okay, at least feed the cow to get her. Come on.
It didn't sound like anybody had any food that whole entire day, even though they went to the grocery store. Not one statement for anybody at that compound stated that anybody had any food, even after they came back from groceries. What did they do with the groceries? They put them away.
Well, actually, I did find a video that states, and I think it's Dawn that says something else. They got up, they did breakfast, and I thought,
filling holes. And not only that, but who had the breakfast? Was it him and the boys when they went to work? Because Summer and her mom had to leave the house between 7 and 7:30 to make it to the doctor's appointment for her mother by 8. So
But she didn't have a doctor's appointment. That was just an ER visit. She didn't
they said
actually
they
have
got
a
there at
doctor.
8 o'clock, and hopefully that's corroborated. I mean, you know who would have that information? Law enforcement. But we
Yes.
do know that Donna stated on multiple occasions.
Yeah, you do know how to check the metadata on those videos, don't you? You know how to check the metadata?
I don't do metadata. I don't. Like I said, you know, a lot of people think I'm pretty crafty and techie and, you know, all this other stuff. They give me way more credit than is due to Bullhorn Betty. I can tell you that.
Well, I did go through and check metadata, and I actually am very YouTube stupid, but I'm very computer smart. So I did go back, and I have been checking metadata, and I have been checking everything I can actually get my hands on in this case. It's because, I mean, when I found out that they sold all of her best clothes and all of her best toys 7 months before she went missing, all of her best clothes, all of her school clothes that she had, they sold all of her best clothes, all of her best clothes on Facebook Marketplace 7 months before she goes missing. And I start looking at this. I'm like, okay, what changed? Where's the catalyst for all these changes? It's right after the Jose visit. Right after the Jose visit, all these things start happening with new cars, this and that, and going to church, and yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, and thank you for putting your perspective out there for people to hear.
I think that you're doing a good job, and I know that it's, you know, a lot sometimes all the haters that get to you, and just people thinking that I knew. I am catching a lot of hate, and so I realize what kind of hate you get, and I'm just here to say, just keep focusing on Summer. You just do you. You run your own race. Let those people worry about themselves. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. You have a good day.
You too. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial. Bye-bye.
So there's another person's perspective on that. I put your comment up here, Bertie, because I wanted to, I don't know if they're at the same time or not. I know Dolly said he's going to try to reach out to the people that are putting together the other event, and he's going to be releasing that information on his channel. And so, you know, whenever he gets it, I'm sure it'll be released, and I'll be happy to state on here as well of the other vigil as soon as I know who, where, when. I'll let you guys know. And I saw somebody on here that says they have a projector but no screen. I'm pretty sure I've got a white sheet around here. I don't know how we're going to set it up, but I'm sure we can make do if we have a projector out there. But go to that Facebook page that we put in here from Susie and Guidance. And they, you know, I'm kind of letting them, you know, work on that stuff because they started it. I don't want to step on toes or anything like that, but they seem like they're getting a handle on it. They went ahead and got somebody to help pray over the service and things of that nature. So if you've got something, those are the things that we need. Maybe somebody might have that's watching this might have that's coming might have a screen that they can bring with them. So just go on to that Facebook page, become a member, and if you guys have something that you guys can bring, please bring it. And then we'll have people assigned to working on the video that will be projected through the projector onto the screen. So I will get with them and figure everything out, you know, organization wise. But let's put everything on that page so we have an organized place that we can say, okay, this person's bringing this person's bringing this, and we can make a list from it. So for those of you that are in here, go over to the Facebook page, and if you guys are coming, uh, you know, go there. That's where the information is. They're keeping it updated. And I go in there once in a while. They've got a really good handle on it. And again, I'm here doing this stuff, trying to make phone calls, trying to get things moving for us, for the event itself. So they're dealing with some of the details of that. So that's where that all of that information should be. But please, if you guys have a projector or projector screen, please get in there and let them know you have that, so we can coordinate when that needs to be out there and when that needs to be set up, because we still have to coordinate somebody preparing the video that's going to be played and the link of that video. So, and what's going, if there's going to be a voiceover, or what happens. So let's go over there. Let's get that Facebook page, so everybody knows where everybody's at, what everybody's doing. And I think that's just one area we can just kind of drive everybody to, so we can coordinate and have a better coordination process. Nobody cares what I did 20 years ago. Seriously, nobody gives it. You guys want to waste the paper? Waste the paper. You guys think it's an embarrassment to me? It's not. It's what created me to be who I am to this day. So if that's what you guys wish to do, law enforcement doesn't care, because what am I doing now, right? What am I doing now? And it's not like everybody doesn't know about it, because it's already been spotted across YouTube. Nobody gives a. Seriously, nobody cares. But go ahead. Go ahead. Nobody cares. And I guarantee people that are coming there have already heard about me, already know about me, already know what people are smearing across everything. Nobody cares. Seriously, nobody cares. Wait until I start making packages. People will care about those, because they're usually court packages. Slander is a civil tort. So go ahead and make your packages. Devil dog dare you. Great. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking from what my count has been. Can't believe. Ooh, we're gonna tattle on you, Andra. Ooh, wow. You guys already have. Oh my gosh. Guess what? I tattled on myself. You guys wouldn't even have known to look there had I not told people about it. Yes, thank you. That is great. Thank you so much, Betty or Becky. I appreciate all of your love and support. Now, are you the one that they were talking about as helping, to pray over the service and whatnot? Yeah, good suggestion, Bertie. So I'm pretty sure. Well, what we'll do is, I think the way Guidance and Susie were talking about, it sounds like they're going to get the list and they'll post it on the Facebook page for this. But yes, we want stuff that's nice and not teenage. I don't think this is for teenage. It might be for teenage. Who knows? But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah. So it looks like I'm quite behind some things. So I'm sorry if I've glossed over some of you guys. Yes, it's going to be, for those that are curious about the date and time, the date and time is obviously June 15th. It's the 1 year milestone of Summerwell's disappearance. It's going to be from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the Hawkins County Sheriff at 117 Justice Center Drive in Rogersville, Tennessee, for those that would like to come. Thank you so much, Becky. We appreciate it. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, guys. Posted. Okay, great. So the number here for those that would like to call in, I'm still on the online. Usually I don't go to 3 hours, but here lately we've been going to 3 hours on these lives, which is fine. Good morning, Sherry. Nice to see you in here, dear. Yeah, that's what people don't know. It just doesn't make sense. It just that whole story of what the Wells thinks happened when you put it in practical sense and you try to uh, figure out how it's possible, and it's just the more you realize how difficult it truly could be. Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
this is Tracy.
Hi.
Tracy is my real name.
Big dream.
Yeah. Okay. In my opinion, I think everything happened on the 13th. That's why Don went to work on the 14th in distress. That's just my personal opinion.
Do you think Hunter is impressionable enough to totally fabricate an entire day?
I do. I absolutely do. Because another thing that I've noticed is Hunter's father is in every single live everybody has talking about this case.
Yeah.
And I just find that odd. I feel like he's trying to throw deflection and let's see.
Yeah, he came into the chat here.
He don't talk. He reads the chat.
Mm-hmm.
What people are saying. And then, he's not calling to talk to the person that he's supposed to be talking to. He gets on there to read the chat and comment to people in the chat. So I just find it odd. I find the whole daggone thing odd because I would be losing my mind if that was my child.
Right.
Still to this very day.
Yeah, and when I hear, like I was, I've been reviewing a lot of interviews because I'm not really listening, when I'm looking for these interviews, I want to listen and pay attention to exactly what Don is saying. And, the whole story to me and the characters that are involved, all of them, from the people that were staying with them at the house to, the circumstances surrounding her disappearance and the people that they rely on. There's this whole bad element there, an entirely bad element. And I don't think that element, and I always talk about, good people kind of gravitate to good people, bad people kind of gravitate to bad people. People with substance issues, gravitate to people with substance issues. But I can tell you, people that don't have substance issues don't hang out with people that do, unless it's, say, like your brother or your family member, where you kind of have to here and there for certain family functions. But other than that, they're just not friends with people that live like this if they don't themselves live like this.
Right. And I don't think Jody Sue meant to be involved, but I think that she got pulled into it.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that she knows more than what she is letting on.
Yeah. But unfortunately, when you make statements that can be corroborated as opposite, even law enforcement have to look at that and say, well, she lied about this. I don't think she'd be the witness.
And she lied about a lot.
Yeah.
And she still to this very day lied about a lot. I mean, I have went back and watched her old videos and compared them to her new videos, and she says things in her old videos differently in her new videos.
Yeah.
So she lied about a whole lot of stuff, and I don't know. People that do drugs, like you said, hang around with people that do drugs, and that's just one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, many know my past, and it's not, that was a part of my past, and I don't hang out with any of those people.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to tell the whole world my business, but that's part of my past too. I'm clean for 7 years now, and I see straight through these people because I used to ride down that road. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what people. That's why I said, you can run, but you can't run from yourself. And no matter where you go in this country, you kind of know like who to talk to. You can look at somebody and tell when you've been down that road. People, that haven't are none the wiser. And bless them. I'm glad, because I would much rather have never lived half of the crap I lived through, but I did.
I know I lost everything. I made a better choice for my kids at the time. I lost everything because of it. Thank God I woke up and cleaned myself up, but I did. I lost everything.
Yeah. It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger.
Everything.
And that's what I tell people. Like people try to attack me all the time, and it's like you can't do anything to me that I haven't done to myself. Like
exactly. I've done bad all by myself.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't destroy me. I destroyed myself. And pulled myself out of it and created a great life. It sounds like you've done the same, and there's many people in my audience that have done the same, and it is part of life.
Yes.
So, but that's interesting. It's an interesting point. I appreciate you coming on, and I appreciate you, talking about that 13th. Possible. We don't have enough information. I mean, the information we had is that she was, doing well on the 15th. People saw her, but when you go back to look at it, and you realize Summer never really went into any of all the stores that they went to. They basically said she sat in the truck.
Yes. I mean, and I just don't understand how a kid just, like you said on your yesterday live, I believe, a kid just vanishes off the face of the earth. Yeah. I mean, unless there's some, like you said, UFO that come down on their property and picked her up and took her away. Well, we all know that didn't.
Right. It seems like it did, because she's never been seen or heard from since that day. Nobody saw anything. Nobody knows anything. Nobody knows anything about time. That's another thing that No Thanks brought up. It's like everybody that goes to that hill, loses all aspect of time.
Can I just say this? When my brother went missing, my brother was older, but the day that we got the call he was missing, we did not stop looking for him, putting him on the news, handing out flyers, putting up flyers, all kinds of stuff until the day he was found.
I doubt anybody just said they wanted their life back to normal. I doubt you woke up every day and said, my son or my brother's missing, but let me get back to normal. Let me get my life back to normal. No,
we didn't. We got up every day, put our clothes on, and looked for him. Half the time, we didn't even get any sleep for where he was at. And the girl that caused him to go missing, she packed her stuff and left while we were all looking for him. So guilty people run.
Yep.
And that's just it. They run from the issue. Mm-hmm. And that's what Candace Wells is doing. She's running.
Yeah, and I can tell you, this is just my experience. Every case that we've covered and we've made contact with the family. The family that had nothing to do with anything related to whatever happened to their significant other or their loved one have invited us in and talked about them and showed us pictures of them, showed us videos of them. The ones that were found to be guilty so far have always called the law on us. Every last one of them. Collin Knapp, he's in jail right now for murdering Kathleen Moore. You got Gabby Petito. I mean, her family suing Ryan's parents. And then you find out, people were beating us up saying the parents had nothing to do with it. And we've been saying, we know you have something to do with it. They didn't deny the allegations that the Petito and Schmidt family brought forward. Instead, they said it was their constitutional right to do so. So they basically admitted to everything that they were saying. So, and we've been called, and this is like, even with Paola Miranda, her family sat down with us and talked to us and told us about their sister. Ruth Cecala sat there and told us about, her daughter and son sat down with us and talked to us about her life and who she was. Kathleen Moore's family reached out to Jonathan and had conversations about their sister and their daughter. Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner's family reached out to us and wanted to tell us about their life and asked us to, if we could find any information about it. So people that did not have anything to do with the disappearance or the untimely demise of their loved one have been very kind and sweet and wanted us to know about the victim and all these other things. And then you go to the wells. And they don't want you anywhere around them. They don't want you looking for her. They don't want you having anything. All they want to do is get their life back to normal without their children.
Right. And see, the girl that caused this with my brother, we would just want to ask her questions, and she would call the cops on us and say we were harassing her. And that she was scared of us and so on and so forth. And we were just trying to ask her questions because she was the last one that seen it, So it ended up, she got away with it, but
Yeah.
She did get away with it. I mean, and she gave us little hints to where he was at the whole time. The first time that she called him missing, she called him in missing after 6 hours. And the first day we went over there, she gave us little hints to where he was at, but we didn't know that she was telling the truth. And we didn't think that she was telling the truth because the divers and the diver dogs searched the small pond behind his house 4 times, 5 times, I think it was, and never found him.
Yeah.
And I'm talking a small pond.
Yeah, and
that's where he was at.
Yeah, here's a weird thing too. And these dogs are supposed to, from my understanding, be able to smell them even in water. But this is not uncommon, and this is what I try to state to people. Dogs aren't perfect. People, just like any other creature on this world, is not perfect. They're as good as their training, but they're still an animal that has a brain. They're not a computer, and they don't always get it because this is not the first time with the dogs that the dogs have missed something. Think of how many dogs were out there in Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park, and they still could not find Brian Laundrie, which had been there for some time.
Right.
And he was only 1,500 yards from where he parked his silver Mustang. So the idea that just because dogs are out there doesn't mean they're going to pick up the scent, doesn't mean they're going to go right to where this person is or is not. It doesn't all, in a perfect world, it would, but this is not a perfect world by any stretch of the imagination. And sometimes I feel like people have way too much, yes, we want the dogs do great. And yes, they are, but I'm curious to find out what percentage they're accurate because I don't think I've ever seen a report on the accuracy of these, scent dogs and cadaver dogs. I don't think anybody's put that. I don't know if they have. Maybe there is something out there that I just haven't found. But I'm curious to find out because this is not the first time we've heard of dogs being involved in a case and not finding something like Brian was laying right on the ground. I mean, he wasn't hidden. When we finally located where he he was there.
Yeah, and see, I see a lot of people in different chats say, well, they brought the dogs out to look for summer, and the dogs didn't this, and the dogs didn't that. Dogs, like you said, miss stuff all the time.
Mhm.
All the time.
Yeah. So
I
it
mean,
makes
they're
you
not
wonder. And not
perfect.
only that, that her scent would have had to have been everywhere there. She lived there her whole entire life,
Right.
and it's like, is this an old scent? And they're like, oh, well, they can pick up on new scents. Or how do you know that? You're not, I mean, you think that that's the way that they're trained, but you're not talking to the dog or communicating to the dog. Like, is this an old scent or a new scent? And even if they're trained, but if that's the only scent that they can pick up of hers, how do we truly know how old that scent is?
But I truly believe that it's just my opinion, like I said, that it all happened on the 13th. That's why he went to work on the 14th. And he was so out of it, as Dudley said. Um, that's just my thought. Other people may feel a different way, but that's just how I feel.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for calling in. It's nice to hear your
And I
voice.
will see you on the 15th.
Awesome.
All right, honey. Thank you so much
All
for
right.
talking with me.
Bye bye.
All right, God bless. Bye bye.
So there's another perspective. Yeah, the hill is an issue. I mean, there's other lower lying properties there that would be more accessible to this abduction theory. It's just that their particular property poses a lot of interesting challenges for something like that. And I'm hearing Dolly has COVID, guys. So let's say a prayer for Dolly. Dolly Vision 1.0 is not doing so well. And we just want to make sure he gets a virtual hug from all of us and a nice little prayer for a speedy recovery. And hope he is back to top notch. He has really been a true supporter of Summer Wells, and he has really been over backwards to really try to help make this event for Summer Wells a success and something very nice for her. And when I chatted with him, his main concern is that he wanted it to be beautiful and nice for Summer. That was his only requirement. And God bless him. And I hope he has a speedy recovery. He's been trying to get so much stuff done. And I just feel absolutely horrible that he feels horrible. So far my behind. Wow, I'm like an hour behind these comments, so I'm gonna have to gloss over a few of them. I apologize, folks. I apologize, folks. Interesting point. So somebody says that his clothes weren't dirty, as if, but if he was, let's think about that. He was and he did say that he had law enforcement out at the house that morning, is what he said. Not late morning, not almost afternoon. 11:30 would be darn near almost afternoon or noon, not morning. And he had an officer down there, and I heard this for the first time, and I believe it was on that interview Cher did. Like I said, I was enlightened quite a bit by some of the information that was provided. And if officers were there, and he was down at that hill, heading to work, and he was in his truck, but he's now got a missing child and is pulling up in a Subaru, that explains that he had to come home. Well, he never left until she disappeared, and he had to try to go to work because he said somebody, when he was loading his tools up, his boss saw him. So that means he was finishing up his day supposedly to head home. Hello, hello.
Hi, is this Dave?
I'm sorry.
Laundrie.
It is. It is. Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
My TV's slower than my phone is. This is Tammy T.
Oh, nice. Nice to see you. Nice to hear you.
I've been wanting to get a hold of you for a while since I seen Cam on a show
Mhm.
with Angel Feast and stuff. And he was telling everybody on that show that you guys were planning on humiliating law enforcement. That's why you chose to have it there. And I told the people, no, law enforcement was all for it. They had a place all set out for you guys. And
That is true.
then he said that somebody on that team, somebody from over there, is paying people, or asking people to pay them to go on tours of that area.
That is untrue.
So I asked him for a name so we could know who would do something like that. And he just ignored me.
Yeah, because he can't say it. Because it's all smear, and these are people that stated that they cared about Summer Wells. And now you get an opportunity to see who's truly coming out to honor her and honor law enforcement, and who's going to make this a spectacle. And I can guarantee it's not coming from our camp. It's not coming from the people that love and honor Summer Wells. And we are going to love and honor her on the day of the prayer vigil and the candlelight vigil. And we are going to celebrate the work that law enforcement has done for this beautiful baby.
Yeah, that's what I tried to tell everybody in there. Because I know that's what's going on. I know that Kim wasn't being honest.
Yeah.
And I just want you guys to have the heads up.
Yeah.
About what he's going around on show.
Oh no, we know what people are stating, and it's really sad, especially when he wants to say that he's a Christian man, yet he's spreading this kind of gossip. And shame on him. You know, he speaks a lot. You know, it's not just about speaking; it's about walking and doing. You know, actions speak louder than words, and so he can speak all. But what is he doing? He's doing nothing. And quite frankly, I think he's discredited himself because
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Yeah, he's discrediting himself. He's doing his own damage. If he didn't want to come, he could just not come and do the Christian thing and not speculate and state horrible things that he knows is not going to happen. You know, he knows that we do not do that.
Other rituals.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going out there, believe me, and you can reach out to TBI yourself. If I was going out there to protest or to do something like that, I still call law enforcement and let them know what we're doing. That's why we had an escort at TBI. That's why we had an escort at the children's services. You know, in Rogersville, we had TBI out there that showed us where we could sit and stand for our protest. I have nothing wrong with if I felt the need to protest something, I still go through the same steps that I go through, but I tell law enforcement what we are doing. I do that for our protection as well as theirs. So I'm not going to sit here and call law enforcement, call TBI, let them know that we're doing a prayer vigil and honoring them for their great work if I'm going to do the opposite. I would never do that. I have been vocal about everything I do, including the stuff people don't like, and I do it above board. I'm not a sneaky, person that's going to say one thing and do another. Not only that, but who would? All these people are coming here for a candlelight vigil and prayer. Who would put up with my shenanigans coming under those false pretenses for me to turn around? I mean, they're talking about a major production here where everybody out here is lying about their intentions of coming to this thing. Like, you're not just saying, you're not dogging me, you're dogging every single person that's coming out there to pay respect to this child. Shame.
That's what it's for Summer. And he can't even just stop on his jealous and hateful act.
Because I called him out.
That little girl.
Yeah, I called him out because he got too close to the family and it blinded him. And unfortunately, that's something he's going to have to deal with. Instead of having it being a learning lesson for him, he has made it he acts like it's an insult. I wasn't insulting him. I was just simply, and I've been very respectful to him. He hasn't been so kind to me. And, you know, oh well, it is what it is. I can't control other people. I can only control myself.
Oh, I wanted you to know.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
Because I know how you guys are. I knew it wasn't true. And I just wanted you to know that he was causing trouble.
Oh, yeah. That whole element is doing nothing but causing trouble.
Oh, yeah, he pinpointed Jody Sue's address where her camper is parked on her mother's property on a Google map. During that same thing, he's out for her too.
Yeah, so he's doxing her location and pointing the finger at everybody else.
Like that.
Sad.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it.
But
Thank you so
much. Yes.
Yeah, call back in anytime. I'm gonna
dry laundry on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm gonna open these phones up a little more. You know, I find it, you know, people call in on the phones as opposed to coming up on the show. So I think that makes people feel a little more comfortable. So with that being said, I think I'm going to open the phone lines up a little more throughout my lives.
Well, I love you guys, and just keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, love.
If you have a nice holiday.
You too. Thank you. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you, honey.
So there we go. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad. But at least, if nothing more, this does show the troublemakers as opposed to the people that are perceived as the troublemakers, right? So it's just, you know, people have the choice to do the right thing or do the wrong thing. I can tell you, Cam has never spoken to me in person outside of being in front of the Dirty Wells property. That one event when Benny decided to lose his crap that we all got to see, right? And that was it. He hasn't talked to me since. He came into the chat a few times to argue with me, but because I don't believe with what he believes, he's got venom. And although I have not spoke ill of him on here. I think there was one time way back in December or something when they were being nasty that I brought them up. But we have not been nasty. I've been utmost respectful to Cam. He chose not to be respectful to me. He even asked me to come on his live to talk about a few things, and I told him I would do it one Sunday at like 2 p.m. And he went on his live that afternoon and called me up. He knew I was unavailable. He knew I was driving. He knew I was leaving town. And he wants to pull this. And he actually spoke to me in this chat where I said, I'm happy to come on your live. And he went on to blast me on his live and act like he's calling me up to his channel to dispute these facts when he knew I was out of pocket. And I was not going to be on YouTube or a live for that matter. And he did that knowingly. Now, I'm sorry, but you ask somebody to come on your panel and they tell you they can come on your panel and they tell you a date and time in which they can come on your panel, it seems to be theatrics when you know specifically that that person is unavailable at that time and you are calling them out. Just saying. Just saying. I don't think he would fare well with me on an actual debate fact, a pure fact related to this case. I really don't. But hey, Cam, come on up, right? I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you're at. You're probably busy. Let me call you out, Cam, with cracking cases. Come up on my panel, right? Come up on my panel. Let's debate this. You want to come up on my panel or you want to have a debate? We will schedule it like I tried to do. Christian, dude, you need to go talk to your pastor and go talk to your sponsor because what you're doing is wrong. All right, guys. Well, I am going to. I see there's still some stuff on here. Thank you, guidance. If anybody wants to call in, we're going to be wrapping it up here. I'm on live more than I shouldn't say that. I remember our lives was 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. It was, kind of getting back there. So hopefully when we start moving forward, we get there. Not very Christian of you. No, it's not. It's not. Oh, look at that. Hello, Miss Cher. I hope you're doing well. It's nice to see you in here. How are you feeling, love? Yeah, that's what I do, And not only that, but it's not like when I first came on here and didn't know people, it's not like I was kind of like a fish out of water. Now it's there's people that who truly want answers to this little baby. And you find out which ones truly want answers, and those are the people I'm going to gravitate to. Whether we have differing opinions and things like that, if they're truly wanting answers to this little baby, those are the ones I'm going to gravitate to. Because at the end of the day, that's all I want. Answers to this baby. I'd love nothing more than her to come back home, come back safe. I didn't want to take home. Because that was nothing of any kind of home any child should be raised in life. So, but I do want nothing more than her to come back safe, right? I think all of us, everybody around the world that has been watching this case wants nothing more than her to come back safe. Dolly's, I just heard Dolly, people in the chat here said Dolly's came down with it as well. He's not doing well. We'll try to reach out to him and check on him and see how he's doing. Yes, we gotta have coffee. Absolutely. I'm actually going to be working as soon as I'm done. I wasn't expecting it to last this long. I'm going to go through that interview again. I gotta tell you, that was a great interview. I know that it was early on, so opinions and things have changed, but the meat and potatoes of that interview was now that I watched it, it was very enlightening because so many things have changed since that time. And so I want to get your thoughts. I think it's going to be great. So I'm going to go through the video and get some questions that I have. I have a funny feeling. I'm interested in your thoughts on it, and I'd like to have more of a broader discussion. So I want you to get better. That's the first thing. Get yourself better. Make sure your breathing is doing well. I heard Dolly was he's fighting it, but he's doing okay as of yesterday. I haven't checked on him today, so I'll send him an email and see how he's doing. But I heard it's good. So we want everybody, say your prayer for Miss Cher. She's not feeling too well. We want her to get back to top shape as soon as possible. So thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and wind this down. Yeah. I'm gonna wind this down, and I'll get that stuff to you and over to you shortly. I gotta cut the videos. I want you to see what I'm talking about. All right, loves. I will see you guys later. Have an amazing Memorial Day weekend. We want Cher to get better. We want Dolly to get better. We want everybody just to have a great day, even if some people are under the weather. We can always use prayer from us. So thank you all, guys. Don't forget to go out and be fearless. Have a great day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.